welcome to the class. Now, the object here is to acquaint everybody with the language. You're not going to walk out of here an expert. Hopefully you'll know a little bit more than you did before you came in. And hopefully we'll have some fun doing it. And, but it's also a way to see if you'd like to learn it in more detail. And as I explained earlier, there's a class in Germany every 2 years, and so there's one coming up this year. It's open for registration. We do have enough people so that they'll teach it to us in English. The last time we went, they taught it to us in German, which meant a double challenge in trying to figure things out. But we did. But anyway, so it's a good thing, and it's going to be the end of July. But before you do anything in a language, I think, you got to know the alphabet and sort of what its source is. And so there's a piece of paper that's called the alphabet. So what I want you to know about the Wendish language is that it's a Slavic language in Germany. So the alphabet is the German alphabet, not the English alphabet, with a few letters in it that make some different sounds. We have the exact same sounds in the English language, we just don't call them the same thing, okay? And it's the way they are put together in words that makes your tongue sort of have to do something different. And so we all know the English alphabet, right? Let's say it together. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Those are not all the sounds, are they? You got vowels, long vowels, short vowels. You got combinations, CHs, and et cetera, et cetera. So all the sounds are in this Wendish language. Now we're going to learn the German language. So how many knows, not the German language, German alphabet. Who knows the German alphabet? Got a few people, okay? So let's say the German alphabet together. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, X, Y, Z. Okay. Now we're going to use most of those same letters. We're going to add a few. So and that's what we have in front of you is the Wendish alphabet, and you're going to read it down the middle aisle, or not middle aisle, middle column. So, and I'm going to read it through first of all, just to let you hear. So it's A, B, and you can follow along on the left-hand side. A, B, C, Che, Chet, D, J, A, Et, F, G, H, K, E, J, K, U, L, M, N, Ein, O, Ut, P, R, Ersch, S, Esch, T, U, V, Y, Z, Ship, Shet. Okay? You got it? We'll read it. I'll read it again. A, B, C, Che, Chet, D, J, A, F, F, G, H, K, E, J, K, U, L, M, N, Ein, O, P, O, P, R, Ersch, S, Esch, T, U, V, Y, Z, Jet, Jet. I can't even say it right all the time. Mm-hmm. That after T, it should be T, not Tot. But okay. So let's go around the room and just say the alphabet, starting with Jim over here.
The whole thing?
No, just A. You do A, you do B. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, but when you get to the sound, the letters that have the same letter, like C, say Che, Che. Put those together. O, Ut. Okay, D, J, and L. That way you sort of know that they sort of go together, but they're not the same sound. Okay?
B.
Say, Che, Chet.
J.
J. D, J.
D, J.
Okay. Adam?
A, Et.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to Kim.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Gay.
Renetta?
Ha.
Ha, ha.
Ha ha.
Ha, ha. Okay. Let's go up here to Melissa.
You mean Michelle?
Michelle, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're right.
Yut.
Okay.
Chum.
Ka. K. The K is ka.
Oh.
Okay. Lynn?
You.
Ew.
Ooh.
Ooh. Like oil. It's like oil. Ooh. And L.
L.
M.
In. Ein.
Aim.
Ein.
O.
Ut. O and ut.
Ut. Okay.
Hey,
Ersh.
Mhm.
S, Esh,
Yes.
Tat.
Tay? Yeah,
Tay.
it should be tay, but you can say tot. It should be tay.
Okay.
Mhm.
They.
Epsilon.
Zet.
Zet.
Shet.
Zet.
Go ahead. Zet chet.
Shet.
So, what's different about this than the English alphabet? You don't have any longs or shorts. The confusing thing is that A is always A. It's not A. But A is E. But it's pronounced like I sometimes. But it depends on where it falls into words. Okay. So there are some exceptions, just like there are in English. Ha, ka. Let's see. So earl makes it sound like a W, like in wind. Okay. But the W doesn't have a W sound. The W's got a, well, the W does have a W sound, as in wet, but it's vague. Okay. And let's see here. N and ain. Ain is like senor. Sort of hold it out a little bit. O and ut. Er and ersh. Ersh is a. Ersh is the ersh is a letter that comes after P, like in pneumonia. It comes after K. It comes after, what did I say? It comes after R, K, and after R. Let's see. Yeah, that should be a T, K, and P, not R.
T.
T. Yeah, that should be a T. That's my typo.
T.
So, Chachula, for example, may be spelled Te Ersh. Zishank, Christian, is actually K Ersh, but you don't pronounce the K. So when you see the Ersh behind another consonant, you say the Ersh, you don't say the consonant before, but you sort of like oh, I can't hardly make it, but if you see the P, you purse your lips, that's like you're gonna say P, but then you go, if you see a K, you sort of think, you know, you don't make the sound, but you position yourself to make that sound. And you can, if you're good at it and you're over there, they can understand what you're saying, what you're trying to say.
One of my Deutsch cousins said we didn't hold our mouth properly to pronounce some things right.
Exactly
It reminded me when you said
exactly
that.
right. Exactly right. So we're going to practice. Let's see. So according to the screen, the letters Q, V, and X do not exist in Upper Sorbian, but you can see them sometimes in loan words, like vision, vigia, or flexible, flexibility. Okay. So here's what we just got through this exercise of saying. So let's say it together as a class.
Amen. Say, J, Chet, Day, J, A, X,
today is this phrase. You've probably seen it before. How would you pronounce that? Using
Ya,
it-
sim, zer.
Ya what?
Ya, sim, zer.
Yasum.
Soon.
Soon. Okay, because Ypsilon, the,
Ah.
that's gonna be a challenge for us.
Uh-huh.
Because we've been saying Yasim Sir for so long, but Yasum Sir. Yasum Sir.
Translate.
I'm Wen.
I am when.
I'm Wendish. Or I'm a Wen, I'm Wendish. So you've seen the name York.
Zer.
How do you spell the name York? Go ahead and spell the name York.
J-U-R-K.
Yad.
Spell it in German.
J-U-R-K.
That's right.
That's in German.
That's right.
Grandpa taught me that.
But you can also, but York is also Y-U-R-K.
Yeah.
Same sound, but it's not the same. Because in Wendish, you couldn't do that because it's like, that's not right. It's York,
Yeah, yeah.
okay?
So did they pronounce it?
No, it's the Americanization of it. See, in Texas, the Lexington York spelled with a Y, the Warner York spelled with a J. German
J. Yeah, the Germans.
and Wendish. So so many of the things we say, we just, think about it. Well, it goes back to our ancestors Wendish, then became German, then became English. An example is George Schmidt, our common ancestor. In Germany, he was Yuri Kowar. Yuri Kowar. When he joined the Prussian army, they changed it to Georg Schmidt. Came to America as George Schmidt, sometimes George Smith. Same name, 3 different languages. So when you go and you're doing research work, for example, God help you.
Yeah, yeah.
The priest would write words in Latin and in Wendish and Wendish script and German, all the same things. Any other questions about the alphabet? So let's see. Of course, I'm going to forget this one. But so, how many of y'all went to any of these websites that we have talked about that on emails? Okay. So Soblex is, we'll talk to this, but there's one that's you can hear the words, and that's just course A1, and we can go back to that maybe later on. So the first one deal with consonants, because we have vowels and consonants in Wendish. These are examples of words, and the B is pronounced as in English. So let's start over here with Alan, and see if you can pronounce these words, and we just go around.
Budushin.
Budushin, that's Bautzen in German. Okay, next word, it's the easy one.
Banana.
Banana. Banana.
Lubina?
Lubina.
Bark.
Barik. The accent is on the first syllable.
Bark.
Okay, Barik. Barik.
Do the winds do the whole trill, the R?
What?
Do the winds do the old R roll?
I don't know. You probably can. But
Well, no, I'm physically unable to, I think, but.
I'll have to do it for this class.
Okay.
No, bark.
Naba.
Naba.
Naba. Accents on put the emphasis on the correct syllable. Okay. And so then at the end of a word, the B becomes voiceless. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's like zoop. Okay. Sure. Don't do don't let the air come out. So let's go ahead.
Dub.
Right. Doop.
Do.
Doop.
Sure.
Okay, you can do it. Go ahead.
Sure.
Sure. Yep. Vanilla. That's an OB.
So?
Stop.
Oh, I'm
Practice,
looking down the
practice,
line of life. I was
practice,
looking down.
practice to be. Just
No.
stop without opening your mouth at the end. Okay? Go ahead. You got a question, Michelle?
Well, looking at
Yeah, I was-
pronunciations, like the O is a long O,
It'd be more
I'm
like snow.
confused.
Snow.
Snow, yeah,
No, it's not a long O.
no.
No.
You know what we're saying, the O-H, O,
Look, as in ought.
Okay.
Ought.
ought instead of oot.
Yeah, see, the O is, it's the alphabetical letter is O, but
Yes,
it's pronounced like in ought. Ought.
ought instead of oot.
Well, oot is an extra, like put.
Okay,
The O with the acute on it
uh-huh,
is ut,
uh-huh.
is like put,
But the other is like a short O, ah,
like
Ah.
as in caught.
got you.
Okay? So it's not. Okay? Root. Root. Zoop. Zoop. Okay. The C is like the English TS. Like, the C, oh, the C, I was looking at the C is like in church. So it's say, but it's like in church, so.
Well, the first C is just the, right?
Subla, subla, like a T.
Subla.
Subla,
Ooh, for the epsilon?
yeah. See, for example, these two right here, the che and the chet, they're like chair.
Okay.
They're in different places in the alphabet, but they're put together. So it's chair, whereas subla, it's got a little T sound at the beginning of it. Subla.
Like
Subla.
took,
Like suck. But suck is actually a Z. Okay?
but they always said took.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, subla, circus, sula, hachach, hasach. Okay, hasach, and then swanso. So let's just say those words together. Subla,
Subla.
or say it after me.
Okay.
Subla,
Sula,
circus,
circus,
sula,
sula,
hasach.
hasach,
No, it should be hasach.
hasach,
Swanso.
swanso.
Okay, the next one is the chai and the chet. They make up different words, and when it's, depending on what the accent mark is, it could be a different word. But it's chai, chert, cheta, hach, crotch, mirchin. Okay, say it after me. Chai,
Chai,
chert,
chert,
cheta,
cheta,
hach,
hach,
crotch,
crotch,
mirchin.
mirchin.
So the first word is the word for tea. So you keep that in mind. Chai is tea. Mirchin is the name marching, or mirchin.
Mirchin.
Any questions about the che-chet? In the alphabet, the chet comes later on around the T, but we put it together just because it's easier to remember. Okay,
To
when
put
you-
it
when
together.
you- When you go in that, when you go in the lexicon, you'll find the chet differently. Now, how do you know when it's a che and a chet? So the way I think about it to make a difference is the che has got this thing here that looks like an arrowhead. That's when a che, I think about, okay, it's got the Y at the end, that means it's got this little thing, with that victory sign, so that's a che, and a chet is the acute. This letter here, sometimes it's called a hot check, but if you're using a word processor, it's called the corona. That's what it's, the C with the corona. In Word, doesn't say hot check, it says corona. And the acute is acute. This could also look like a circumflex, you know, the short sound, but it's not a circumflex.
The V, you mean?
Yeah, the V, because a circumflex is a whatever that's called.
Looks like a smiley face.
Yeah.
Yeah! Good one.
I teach second grade.
Are you an English teacher? Sometimes I think that to learn a new language, you got to have a refresher in English. You know, so we know the terms and the object, direct object, you know, verb, pronoun, all those things. Okay, so D is like in English. So that ought to be an easy one to do. Dar, Doma, Droha, Dale. And at the end of a word, you don't say it. Or you just like it before, you stop before you let the air out. Rut, look, wusud.
Well, if I want to type like you do at the bottom of your emails and type like those special characters, they're not on my keyboard.
Yeah, and I think Jeremy may have a solution to that. They're in your smartphone. If you type in your smartphone and you hold the letter down, it'll show you the options. And you just go up and pick the one you want.
Some of the computer keyboards.
Yeah, but you can change the computer keyboard if you know how to do it.
Some of them have it on.
Yeah.
You can also Google alt codes, and like if you want a specific character, it would be like alt, like 1, 2, 3 or something like that.
Yeah, so experiment with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to your character map. Are you doing Windows?
Yes.
Okay. Go to your character map and it'll show you some of those other letters down below the regular alphabets, and most of them will have an alt code. Some of them won't, but you can copy and paste. If you select the letter or whatever, it won't give you an alt code. It gives what's called a Unicode, and I haven't figured out how to use that other than to just copy it from the character map into whatever document you're doing. You can find them, but it takes a little bit of hunting around for them.
Or you can open up a Word document and just sort of put these letters in there and then use them. Or you can take a Windish saying and put it at the bottom of your email, so with those letters in there already, and then you just copy them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like me. I'm a good copy paster.
You know, so maybe we can over time develop some phrases. One of the things we got to do as a class is swear to each other that we're going to say something Windish in our emails or when we talk on the phone, whether it's Dobrogen, good day, or Bojame or something. We got to start putting these words into our language. You know, so Dobrogen, that means good day, and Vatashi Kanam is welcome. So welcome and Dobrogen.
Weldon, the program you were talking about that I use is called Keyman. It's Keyman, and when you install it, it will put a little thing down by your time clock in the taskbar in Windows, and you can switch to a different keyboard. And then when you do that, like you can type a single quote and a C, and I think that will get, the second one is Che, right?
Second one's Chet.
The second one's Chet. Okay, well I was close. I had a 50% chance to get it right. And then like basically you will do a different character and then the letter, and it will add the diacritical mark. I can show you during lunch or after the class.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Keyman. Okay. All right.
Dobrogen, you say is good day.
Yeah.
And Bojame is bye-bye?
God be with you, but yeah. Goodbye.
God be with you.
Goodbye. Which is God be with you.
Okay.
So we'll get to that
I'm just
later on.
remembering what
We're
Pierre
going to learn some of these
Kochman
phrases just
Can
now.
you translate the D word?
the
that
D
we
word.
just said, that
What does it mean?
the D word,
Like as,
day, sorry.
Oh, like what these words mean?
Yeah,
Mhm.
sorry.
I don't know those words.
Okay.
But
The answer to your question was no.
But that's why you, there's a website called Soblex. And Soblex is the entire, well, look it up. Grab one of these books. We should pass something around.
good idea. I'm still a good
Yeah.
person.
Don't write in the book unless you want to buy it.
Are these for sale?
Yeah, everything here is for sale. That's a grammar book. We'll get that a little later on. But these are the let's look
Do we have these books at the,
We do.
At
We do,
the-
at the library. They're
we
for sale
do?
there. Yeah.
Okay, good. I haven't seen those yet.
Yeah.
You know me, I buy every book in there.
Well, there you go. Everybody got one? You got some more here? This one is in hardcover and softcover. It doesn't matter. The one's a little bit different price. Who needs a book? Anybody need a book? You got one?
I looked at the first one, Dara's gift,
Look it up.
Draw
If you're curious about it.
Droha Street.
Yes, ma'am. All right. This is awesome. Isn't it?
It is. I'm immersed.
Okay, so what's Dar?
Gift.
And let's see here. Oh, Donu Dar. That's the next thing down in under Dar.
Oh.
Donu Dar.
Uh-huh.
Christmas present.
Oh.
Hodo is Christmas. Narodninsky Dar.
Birthday.
Yeah. So this book was written by an Englishman, Gerald Stone, who is one of the few people who can translate Upper Sorbian into English directly.
Wow.
Where does she live?
He lives in England.
Wow.
He's about 85 years old. He was a professor at Cambridge, one of those prestigious places. Just a nice guy. He has done so much translating for us.
Wow.
I'd send him something, he would just translate. So, well, I'm going to put it on my conveyor belt, and when I'll get to it, okay, that's super. And then he retired, and we're still using him. He's just a nice guy. But he's in his 80s. George Nielsen is in his 80s. Charles Bukhash is probably in his 80s.
Yeah.
As you get older, you get slower. Anyway, some things work and some things don't. Fortunately, the minds keep going. Peter Barker translates Wendish works that are in German into English for us. So, and he lives in England. Anyway, these guys are obsessed like I am, I guess. They were professors, they learned Russian, then became Slavic experts, and then they started picking up the other Slavic languages. When we go to this language course in Bautzen, many of the students are linguists. They're picking up another language. You know, and of course they got brains that work differently than mine.
So how close is Wendish to Czech?
In the Wendish language, there are two Wendish languages,
Right.
Upper Sorbian and Lower Sorbian. Upper Wendish, Lower Wendish. Lower Wendish is the northern part of Lusatia.
Right.
Their Wendish, their Sorbian is more like Polish.
Okay.
The Upper Sorbian Wendish is more like Czech. So ours is more like Czech.
Yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, when I flew to Germany, a man was sitting next to me from Hungary, and I had my book with me, one of the Sorbian books that I had gotten from the museum, and in the back it showed Upper Sorbian, Lower Sorbian, and when he saw the Upper Sorbian, he said, I know this. You know, and he was able to read it
Yeah,
fine.
it's Hungarian is Slavic language.
So they're very close then, all
Close.
Hungarian,
Close.
Czech.
Russian.
Grandpa Yerk always said he could understand the Czech
Mm-hmm.
because of his Wendish.
So, okay, that's what I was wondering.
Where's the line between upper and lower?
I'm sure it goes like
So
this.
your ancestor, well, so, okay. there's lower Sorbian, Upper Sorbian, and then Middle Sorbian, really. Okay, and your area is Schleife, Weisswasser, Buskow, that's Middle Sorbian. Okay.
Well, some books will even call that middle the Schleifen dialect.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so it's,
And that's what happens. So we're in Texas, but there's Mexico. People along the border talk Tex-Mex. You know, the Germans come from Germany to America, live here, and over time, their language becomes Texas German.
Schweinerei.
So tell me your name again. First, yeah. Your daughter. What's your name?
Susan.
Susan. So, I mean, how many languages do you know?
I'm not a great linguist. I mean, I've lived in 4 or 5 countries, but I've lived in Europe now for 12 years. So,
So people say that Americans know one language. You can tell the difference between Americans and Europeans, because Americans know one language, Europeans know 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
pointing out.
particularly the Dutch, because and my father's from Luxembourg, and these people in these very small countries all speak 4 languages.
And in Germany, so you got 3 generations of people. The grandmas speak German and Wendish. The middle generation speaks German and Russian and a little bit of English. And then the children speak German, Wendish, and English. Everybody can speak English from all these European countries, except maybe the grandmas.
Not our people.
Yeah,
East Germany had to learn Russian.
Well, yeah, that's right.
But they know no kind of English.
But the young people know English. And
There are some of them. They're starting to learn it, but like our young Yerps don't know it.
everybody that came to this class wanted me to talk to them in English side because they wanted to get their English better.
Yeah.
And they can all understand me. And I can understand. We can communicate.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
We can communicate.
Well, like Frank Wopes, because he was Eastern German, they were taught German and Russian in school.
Right.
Yeah.
But now his daughter was getting
Melanie is
German and
getting-
English.
That's right.
And then she went on to French and
But
Spanish.
Stephanie is still just that little bit older than than Melanie is, and she does not understand us in English.
So this class in Germany is taught to us by Catholic wins. Because the Lutheran wins learned German, and they didn't retain their Wendishness except for the grandmas. The Catholic community was off to the side, and they in those communities they speak Wendish. When they go to Bautzen, they speak German.
But, okay.
And they had their own monastery in Wendish, you see, where they taught the priests. Whereas in Germany, you were a Lutheran pastor, you learned German. Yeah, that's what everybody learned there. And to try to get a Wendish theological school was tough. And that's what happened over here. Yeah, the early guys, John Killian could speak Wendish, but his son knew kitchen Wendish. He never really learned it in a school. Well, sort of in a school, but not really. Wasn't taught all the theological terms, in Wendish. So he would put this stuff together. John Killian could do everything right. And then as you go on, it's just sort of, you lose it. You can pray together, but you cannot really do this theological stuff
That he could
that they
do.
like to do.
Well, and those teachers, are they Upper Sorbian Catholic or Lower Sorbian? I thought most of them were lower. They're upper. So there are Catholics.
Oh, yeah. And that's what's keeping the Wendish language alive.
They're full-fledged.
Is
Yeah.
this Wendish area. And super nice people.
Where is the
the
monastery?
The monastery is a little bit west of Bautzen.
Okay.
I can't think of the name right now. But yeah, so if you go to the class, the first weekend we went to a Protestant area. Second weekend went to the Catholic area. Went to the Catholic church service, and of course they practice communion every service. And so the way Bobby explained it is, we don't really want to commune somebody who doesn't believe the same way we do, just like some Lutherans don't believe the same way. But, you know, if you want to get a blessing, just go up and do like this, and the priest will bless you, and you go on. So that's what I thought. I'm going to experience this. I went up and did this, and he blessed me, and I said, you know, Jacques, you so, and thank you, and went on. We sort of smiled at each other. You know, just went on. Two Christians speaking two different languages. But hung up on certain things. Okay, so, can you see okay up here, Tom?
Yes.
Okay, so we got got these letters. Okay, now we get to the funny ones. Well, one of them, J. So Jer, Jock, J-Wo. Okay, let me work this one out. That's Dresden, okay. Dresdeny. Because of the Y you don't pronounce, don't try to pronounce it, it's there. Dresdeny. Manjelska. Manjelska is look up these words and see what, look up Manjelska and that's a good word.
That's a good one.
That's a good word. Good word to look up.
Why?
Is there a masculine
Manjelska's
form?
wife?
Yes, right, yeah. Manjelska. Is there anything below it?
Married couple, Manjelska's
husband.
Gay? What it?
Okay, let me find it here.
Manjelska's gay? Yes.
Manjelska is wife, Manjelski is husband.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Or if it's
Manjelska's
an adjective, it's marital.
And marriage. Yeah.
Yeah, Manjelska's wife, Manjelich,
Manjelich.
that's to marry. Manjelska is married couple, Manjelski,
Manjelska.
husband. So what's the difference between Manjelski and Manjelska? It's just the last letter of the word.
Uh-huh.
So when John Killian would his name was Yana Kiliana.
Yana Kiliana?
Yeah, because he would put the ending on his word, but according to this, that was female, but it's maybe the word is Killian is female. But he didn't ever write Kiliani, he wrote Kiliana.
Huh.
And so when you see some of these in the original, you see this name, they would put the endings on the names, whether it's masculine or feminine, or whether it's dative or accusative. So when you see a name, you have to figure, where is that name in this sentence? Is it a subject or is it a direct object? Okay. And that's what confuses people as they translate these names. You've got this ending of this grammar-like ending on the end of it. But the root of the word is what you got to look at, and not the ending. So that's just a word of caution.
Well, and I, just to throw in a little more on that, in my search in my genealogy, going back to the Wendish versions of the names, there's a book in the library about Slavic names and the German equivalents and stuff. And instead of Hadush, some of them were Hadushka,
Husband.
but they put dates when those were the more common forms of those names on there. So depending upon what century you're in,
Yeah.
the version of the name would change. Some would have those endings, some wouldn't.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, wow.
So that the Yana may be specific to that time frame or something.
Mersiovsky is a Czech name, so if you were a female, it'd be Mersiovskaja, a male Mersiovskaja.
Oh, wow.
And so it's all these Slavic languages have these endings on them.
Now, interestingly enough, my husband had no earthly idea he was the great-great-great-grandson of Jan Killian, and that mattered to anything until he married me.
Then he found out he was famous.
Yeah!
So what's Jer? Find Jer in the lexicon.
DZER.
DZERA?
DZED is grandfather.
Jed. Jed. Did you find Jed in there?
Yet?
As DZ?
J? How would you pronounce it? Say it again.
J. So what you gotta do, don't look into Ds, look into Jeds.
Right, I'm in the DZs.
You all got the
Mm-hmm.
the J's?
But I'm not finding the DZER.
There's a lot of words that have that at the beginning,
Right,
but there's
right.
add-ons.
So maybe it's just like a,
Well, I
A
guess we'll have to talk
prefix.
to Gerald.
maybe it's a prefix that means something.
Maybe so. What does jock mean?
Thanks.
Okay.
And you remember
J-Wo,
that?
what's J-Wo?
No, work,
J-Wo.
work.
J-Wo.
Weldon, is that the L with the slash? I can't see it
Well, which
well
one?
enough to tell.
On J-Wo?
Yeah.
It's got a slash in it.
Okay.
And that's also a challenge when you read some of these things, you gotta really look at those L's, because the slash, when it's in printing, it doesn't always come
Yeah, it
out.
doesn't
So I've
show
gotta
up.
get the magnifying glass and look at it and.
It stands for work.
Right.
J-Lo,
J-Wo.
is work.
Then there's schnots, srets, woats, woods. Look, I say schnots,
Schnots.
drets,
Grits.
or that's actually shreds, and woods. So what's woods? See if we can find that in the dictionary.
But when you look in the dictionary, like I'm not seeing a
Yeah.
separate section for the L.
It's very small.
Oh.
There's not a lot of words that start with the.
That's ship for boat.
Right, page 145. And a spaceship is a Swetnish Showa. Swetnish
Oh, there it
Showa.
is.
Swetnish Showa. Swetnish Showa looks.
If you say so.
So when you look at the bottom, it's got boat ship, then it's got Swetnish Showa with the L with the slash. That's for the word itself. And that's real. The Earl by itself, we didn't write out the whole word for Lutz in that particular case. You'll see that a lot of places where you got the first letter in the period, that refers to the main word in the lexicon. Okay. Any questions about Lutz? Woods? Woods? Woods?
Woods?
Woods. Woods. This is woods. It's got the L with it, it's an Earl, so woods. 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 Woods.
And what does it mean?
Boat.
Ship for boat.
Your ancestors came over to America on a woods.
Am I looking at the wrong spot? I guess I'm.
It actually came
145.
before that.
145.
Yeah.
Well, in the hardback
Up
anyway.
in the middle.
Yours is saying-
Oh. No wonder I'm looking at the
Why did they
wrong
put that
place.
one in front of the L instead of after it?
Yeah.
Just curious.
I would think
Any
it was
idea?
after.
Come to the class and ask somebody.
We did.
Oh, no, not this class.
Come to the real class.
The real class.
I think this is a real class.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Those first.
Sucking up's not gonna get you any.
Definitely wasn't going there, but I guess it sounded like it.
Okay. Ready to go on to F? pretty much the same. Fara, Fantasia, Forma, Frida. Frida. It's still Frida, I think. Any questions about the F? The letter G is always great, like God. Not it's never
Never the soft G.
like judge. It's always
It's a hard G.
it's a hard G. It's Garatza, Giraffa. No, Garatza, Giraffa.
Gariffa.
Giraffa. Thank you. Gingawa. Accent on the first syllable. Any questions over the G?
Exactly what I thought. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
What is
The first one is garage.
Giraffe?
And giraffe.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the last
Wow.
one? Gingawa.
Water lily. Gingawa.
Gingawa.
Gingawa. How easy is that? That
I
makes
think
it
a way to
easy.
remember that. Gingawa. The wa for water.
Gingawa. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Mind
Come up in
games with
conversation.
Yes.
It doesn't come up in conversation very often.
Yeah, I don't know if I've said water lily in a long time.
Yeah. Okay. H is like in English. Let's see what it says. I've got some notes. At the beginning of a word or preceding vowels, such as I or O, it's pronounced as in the English word here.
Here.
At the end of a word and preceding consonants, such as R or L, it remains silent. So, Hara, Anja, Hijo, Enoch. Wrote, wrote. Lada, Wizdach, Zaruda. Chornovo, Cha, you, Obro. What are those words mean? Brut. You can say it after me if you want. Brut, Lada, Wizdach, Zaruda. Chernobyl. You know what Chernobyl is?
No.
Chernobyl is a mountain. Well, it's not a mountain like the Rocky Mountains. It's a big hill just south of Bautzen. There's Chernobyl and Bubabo. Bo is the Wendish word for God. Bo. Chernobyl. What does it sound like? You know what the word Cherna means in Czech and in Czech? It means black.
Yeah.
Chernobyl.
Well, probably something black. Okay. Biwabo means Biwa is white. We would probably say Bili, but Biwabo is white. So you got these two hills, and in the pagan times there was the white god and the black god. You know, good and evil. And so if you read the culture and the legend of the area, then they find these stones and rocks that are little, they have got basins in them. Well, that's where they sacrifice the gods. Okay.
Interesting.
Chernobyl, Beelzebub. So what is cha? With the chet.
Huh.
It's not here.
Not in there.
CHA is T.
Oh.
I don't have
C-A-J. Oh, C-A-H.
I don't have C-A-H.
Huh.
There.
Tell us. Yep.
Can you find it with the check?
No.
No?
I wonder if it's supposed to be C-A-J, that's T.
Did we have that? Chai is T.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, maybe I'm looking in the wrong place.
Okay.
No, I looked in both places.
Okay, here it is, with the che. That's T.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what, so that's the first word there. We'll go to the cha. So I'm going to go to Soblex
Okay.
in my little handheld thing,
Uh-huh.
and I can find it. Is there a way, Jeremy, that you think of that this thing could be hooked up to this so we can see it over there? What's on the image on the screen there?
I don't think so. If we had like a smart TV or an Apple TV, we could broadcast to it, but I don't think there's a way we can do it with the projector.
Is there no way to do a Bluetooth connection with the projector?
Actually, there might be a way to do it with the one up there.
Yeah,
the
that one
ceiling.
has Bluetooth. We had it hooked up originally, but we lost the signal.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Remember when the principal was here, he like had it fixed and then lost it.
Okay,
Huh. No, I missed that part.
Oh.
so who knows German? A cha-
Kim knows better than I do.
You know.
a cha is a souk,
Oh.
Oh,
train, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But I don't know why it doesn't, so I don't know why in this particular thing, it's gotta be in here somewhere. Maybe it's with the Z's. I was thinking that it was out of place, or that maybe there weren't very many letters that started with the check. Well, there's Chase.
Well, see, I don't even find a section with the check
Yeah, I don't either. I was.
in the dictionary, not for the che, yes, but not for the check.
Yeah, the Che, yeah, but not for the Chase.
Well, yeah, but in Solix, when you put in the che, aha,
uh-huh.
it comes up as chet, aha.
And that one is checked, isn't it? It sure is. That's
So
why.
if I change that to.
It changes it when you search on it.
So if I put in
Chet, aha. I'm
She
sorry,
found the
che.
Ch's
I like
are
that.
Che,
277.
Look on page 277.
CAY,
277?
It may not be the same,
I bet I think it is.
Check.
Yeah,
Oh, it
that's
just
there.
gave it its whole, it is in the back, Weldon. It's not with the other C's, it's in the back.
Very last one?
277.
Oh my goodness,
277.
and there it is, train.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
in its own
very-
So
little
wonder why
section.
it's in its own little section.
So what page?
277.
Good job.
277.
Yeah.
Oh, it comes
When in
after
doubt,
the
go
T,
back.
okay.
Yeah.
It comes after the T's.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you even said that earlier.
Yeah.
You said that earlier, that it comes later.
That it was
when you
just
it
put up
together.
here because it,
It's
In
pronunciation.
earlier times, it was actually had a TSC sound to it.
and is that where the talk comes from?
Souk? You mean the
No,
German?
when people who say Zog or Zoc now, Zok is what I always heard my grandfather say. Zok.
That's a good question. We might have to just look that up and see what it,
Yes.
but,
Well,
so,
the TZ kind of sound, that's actually more correct German.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, train. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was coming from Windish or German with Grandpa because, you know, he spoke both. But I just remember him always saying it in that manner. In fact, sometimes now when people say Zoc, I say, oh, you mean Zog or Zok? You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
the German, High German, it's actually more of a TZ sound. So
Yeah.
there's that little T
Extra.
tongue.
So when we
That
were in
tongue thing
Germany,
going on like the R's.
we had to have this Soblex open so we could see what the words in German. Then we had to have Google Translate open. We could put it into Google Translate to see them in train. And that's an
Oh,
example of what we had to do you know,
Wow.
to make it through the class. That just makes your brain hurt. After.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
After about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Okay, so any question about the H? Any questions? No questions? CH. Muka, Duk, Blak, Achim, Moch. Okay, so let's see, after an I or a Esh or A, the Ka can be pronounced as a German Ich or München. It is like the Y in year.
As a fricative.
Who can define fricative?
English teacher.
An English teacher.
I don't use that in Germany. That word I don't think, but it's, I don't know. Anyway,
I have to Google it.
so let's pronounce these words after me. Muka, Duk, Blak, Achim, Moch, Nitsch, Retsch, Yetchi, Mechki.
Oh,
Wait, say that again?
Metsky.
Say that last word again?
Mechki.
Metsky.
That sounds a lot like my grandfather's last name.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you start doing the research, trying to figure what these words mean, what does Mechki mean?
I don't know, let's look.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm making it like a ch sound, but
Soft.
it should be Mechki.
Yeah.
Rek. Lick.
Soft.
Is it? Trough, like a feeding trough.
Mechki. No, soft.
Soft.
S-O-F-T, soft.
Okay, so there, yeah, okay, so there's also M with just a C and the K, but this is CH, okay.
Mhm.
So we have to go past, it's its own letter of the alphabet. Those two letters together is its own letter in the alphabet. So what page are you on? What page you find that?
157.
Okay, 157, okay, that's where I am. So first column, second column.
Second column toward the bottom.
Oh, I see it, okay, I see it now. I was looking up a little higher. If you look up about 10, 11 words up there, it's like Mechki, and this is Miechki. It's Miechki. Almost the same,
Yeah.
except for that CH.
Uh-huh.
Soft and trough. Wow. Did you this in the Windish newsletter, you didn't put down everything that I sent you about the Schmidt family.
No, I didn't know if I'd had enough room, so
Well, the section that you left out was when
all the important part.
The part he really wanted to see.
It's my first failure as the editor.
Alvin Schmidt would reach at the table and say, "Excuse my reach."
Oh, yes.
Okay?
He would say, what?
Excuse my reach.
Oh, that.
Reach is also the word for ass.
Oh.
And windage. Now, you didn't print that. Was that a decision?
That's probably a good part.
Yeah.
Well, I'll send that to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can have fun with words when you deal with two languages. When the word mist in English is, you know, the mist in English. Irish mist is whiskey, and Canadian mist is another kind of whiskey. So when I brought Germans to the liquor store, look around, they just started laughing because it's an Irish mist. Well, in German, mist is shit. I thought that was the funniest thing.
Is that a colloquialism or an idiom or?
What, mist in German?
Scheiss is.
I was gonna say Scheiss.
Yeah, mist is like, maybe like manure.
Oh, there you go. I guess
Okay.
so.
All right.
A little bit of difference, but not a whole lot.
Grandma Schmidt.
I
used to
only knew
cuss
the
a
bad
lot.
words and
Do I?
Scheiss.
Grandma Schmidt used to cuss a lot.
And so what did she say? What do
Oh,
you
she
remember?
said shice a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be more of a
It was
different
German.
form of the,
Yeah.
Yeah. Grandma.
Manure, that would make sense.
She called her grandma. To me, she was Tanta Anna,
Yeah,
and very lively.
she was,
Uh,
yeah.
Spirited, you know.
Yep.
Germans
Never
have a
learned
reputation
English,
for
never
very
spoke
bodily-oriented humor, so.
Moved to Houston in 1918. She died in 1972, and she still spoke German her entire life.
Yeah. My daddy laughed when he started dating my mother. They would go visit her grandmother, and my great-grandmother would speak in German, and mother would answer her in English, and that was their conversation. They each spoke their own comfortable language to each other.
Okay, so down at the bottom, Corey. Say that, Corey. Say it out loud.
Corey.
Yeah.
Kaja.
Kaja.
Wolfkai.
Volkan.
Wolkillitz.
Wolkillitz.
At the end of the word after prefixes, the CH has an English K.
That's what I was looking at.
Wolkillitz.
At the end of the word and after prefixes,
It's just K.
Wolkillitz. Some of those languages where you just have to learn the word.
Yeah.
Forget phonics, just.
Right,
yeah, phonics doesn't really apply to.
I was gonna say, we need to learn this whole language. Just phonics.
No, you can't do that. You just have to say it. Yes.
I feel like I need to text Dr. Mark.
It's not in here.
Every time I yell at her.
I look at German because if I can see it, I know how to pronounce it. You know, unless it's a foreign word or something wrong.
Well, interestingly enough, it's not in here. You may have to use
Yeah.
your Sobrix.
Yes.
So you didn't find it at all?
Ancestor
Not
for the
even, not even by
WOP.
finding the CH as its own alphabetical name.
Were you looking up that last word?
Mm-hmm. We were good the last one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, look on page 305, upper left corner. Left column.
305?
Yeah. So you gotta think about the CH as its own letter of the alphabet. It comes after ha, comes after H.
So it doesn't tell us what it is.
Yeah, third line down, page 305.
Oh, keep in, turn aside.
Yeah. And you see these numbers, like 38 and 40, they apply to the front of the book, and it's a verb, and so you got the tenses.
Oh, perfect and imperfect.
Yeah. So we're gonna need you, Kim, to tell us what
No,
present.
we don't teach that in second grade.
Hop out.
You gotta move on up to learn that.
Any high school English teachers here? So that's what I mean, you gotta sometimes have a refresher in the language. Okay, we'll move on. The J is always pronounced as the Y in the English word year. So say after me, Yara,
Yara,
Yasnu,
Yasu,
Yana,
Yana,
Yaku,
Yakub,
Hi.
Heidi.
Okay. The K is articulated as in English. I don't know what it means, it's aspirated. Kowa, Kowa, say it in Kowa,
Koa,
Kana,
Kana,
Kilo,
Kilo,
Yakuyuso.
Yaka Yuso,
No, Jakuyuso. Jakuyuso. So what does that mean? It means thank you.
Ya, Jaka Yuso, ya.
Jakuyuso. 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 So now you can say it anytime. Jakuyuso.
Ya, Jaka Yuso.
And Wutroba is the word for heart. So Wutrobni Jok, heartfelt thanks. Wutrobni Jok. Wutroba is the word for heart. Heartfelt. Wutrobni is heartfelt thanks. Wutrobni Jok.
Yeah,
Wutrobni Jok.
trying to think.
So with now in this case, the L is first. So the L is pronounced as in English. So repeat after me. Lampa,
Lampa,
Liza,
Lisa,
Ledgets,
Levis,
Toller,
Tyler,
Subla.
Sula,
The L is pronounced as the W in the English word, wine, with both lips. Ul, Wuka,
Wuka,
Wuzitsa,
Wuzisa,
Wuzitsa,
Wuzisa,
Walka,
Waka,
Puwatch,
Puwas,
Puwatch,
Puwas,
Kobasa.
Kobasa,
Okay, so what does kobasa mean?
sausage.
You got that one. Now you know a English word.
I add one more to that number of 6 or 8.
Wuzitsa. Wuzitsa is Lusatia. That's where our ancestors came from. Rana Wuzitsa. Beautiful Lusatia. Rana Wuzitsa. You're in German, if you're in the Wendy's class, you say, this is Rana Wuzitsa, they'll love you. So what is Wuka? Now in the book, Lexicon comes before the L.
Yeah.
Ul comes before the L. I think, yeah.
Meadow.
Meadow. Wuka. What's Wauka? With an L. Wauka.
Bench.
Bench.
Park bench.
Yeah, let's see, what about Puwats?
To swim.
Swim?
Swim or float.
Oh yeah, you gotta find it way at the bottom of that particular phrases. So it comes after the R, like who warrior, who watch, swimmer. Okay? M is pronounced as in English. Marmalade,
Marmalade.
mus,
Moses.
mach,
Mush.
sama,
Sama. Sama.
what's mach?
Oops. Slush. Oh,
What?
you want me to
What's mach?
Slush.
You sure?
Yep,
Yes.
that's interesting.
M-A-C.
Oh, but it has no, that's the wrong topping on the C.
Oh, it is?
It's the
Uh-oh.
wrong topping.
Yeah, I see that.
Chet. Find the chet.
Which one are we doing?
Yeah.
Mach.
Let me see. There it is, mother.
Yeah.
Oh, mother.
And that's
Mutti.
on what page?
That's on page 154, down to the
Second from the
bottom.
Yep, I knew that.
Schwiegermutter. Ja, ja.
Uh,
Mother-in-law,
but no-
Schwiegermutter.
Yeah, Schwiegermutter, but in, look under mach,
Uh-huh.
the second one out, Shikodna mach. See, that's where the ersh comes after the P,
Uh-huh.
so Shikodna mach.
Which one, how are you spelling that?
Look on the right below mach.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
It says Shikodna mach. See it? Mother-in-law,
Uh-huh.
pay, ersh.
Oh, Bekodamach.
Yeah. Mother,
Yeah.
Schwiegermutter,
Schwiegermutter. Yeah.
Shikodna mach.
You just flip it. Almost.
Mhm.
Okay.
Very interesting.
All right, so N is pronounced as in English.
Uh-huh.
Preceding the K and G, it becomes velar, as in the English word sing. Sing. Okay.
So preceding.
Napoi,
Napoy.
Nan,
Nan.
Namakach,
Namakash.
Kanahanka.
Kanahanka.
Hanka, right, or Hanka, yeah.
Before it becomes
Is it Hanka or Hanka?
Hanka.
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 Ah, ha, abetse, Hanka,
Obviously.
Kanahanka,
Yeah, yeah.
Sanki,
Sanki.
Sanki.
Mango.
Mango.
Mongo.
Mango. Yes, okay, like it's not napoi, but then it's mango. It's N, but do you hear the difference? Sanki. So in Kanahanka, you got two different sounds, Kana and Hanka, two different sounds for the N in that phrase. So what do you think Kanahanka is? I can tell you, Hanka is Anna. So what does Kana mean?
Ant?
Well, gotta look it up.
I know.
Did you look it up?
Tin, pot, jug, can.
Kana.
Tin, pot, jug, or can. Cough.
Maybe Hanka is an N. Maybe it's Hanka. Kana.
Maybe there's supposed to
Kana
be,
is
maybe
an
there's
N.
supposed to be a comma there, and they don't go together.
They don't go together.
Maybe. The Hanka is Annie, Ann, Anna. Yeah, but let's put a comma there.
Yeah, because they're both, one's a name, one's a noun.
Yeah, well,
Annie.
yeah,
Kana's a noun.
but,
Hot
okay,
Annie.
yeah, it should be a comma there. Okay,
And Annie.
so what's non? Look up non. You gotta know this word.
Father.
Father. What's mother?
Oh, we just had that.
Yeah, come on. What much?
When you get a second, I've got a question from our internet audience.
Okay, okay. Well, let's take the
Much
question.
and none. Yeah.
Okay, the question is, how do you know which syllable is accented?
The first syllable,
Always?
yeah.
Okay.
And that was discussed a little earlier, briefly.
Normally.
Yeah.
There-
Yeah.
Where are the exceptions,
I
Weldon?
don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll stick with the first one.
Yeah. If you don't know and you say something to somebody in Wendish in Germany, they'll politely
Correct.
say, "This is the way you say that." But they'll thank you for trying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I
So
love the way they're trying to bring it back, the Windish.
father and mother is non-a-mach. Ah is the word for and. Non-a-mach. Father and mother.
Non-much.
That's father and mother. There's probably a word for both of them together, but I don't know what it is. But father and mother is non-a-mach. With the chet. Okay. Mach with a chet. Okay. The ain is pronounced as in ain, as in pina or senor, or what's another?
Yeah.
Pinon tree. It only occurs within a word or at the end of a word. Danya, Jane,
Jane.
Kun, Hansa, Hanyaba. You gotta sort of hold it out there, Hanyaba, not Hanba, Hanyaba.
It kind of has a yeah.
Yeah, like Pino, like the kids do. Kamyen. So anybody recognize any words there? Hansa is another word for John. Jane, Dober Jane,
Yeah.
that's day.
Yeah. Zen. Jane.
I don't know what the other ones are. Jane, Dober Jane, Danya.
The last one just means stone, or, yeah, stone.
Kamyen?
Mhm.
Kamyen?
Interest.
Beg pardon?
The first one, Danya,
Don.
interest.
Don? Interest, like percentage?
It just says interest.
Okay, that's,
Say no, no.
that word, how many different things in English?
Yeah.
It's a noun, but it's feminine.
The K-O-N is horse.
That's right, con. So what's a biwikon? What's a chernakon?
Black horse.
White horse. Biwik is white, I don't know if that's the right ending, but biwikon, white horse. Chernakon, black horse. If anybody needs to take a break, break time. We can stop for a break. I guess it's break time for somebody, so. I didn't mention that. If you really need to take a break, take one, but we can hold off for a second. So we're going fast enough? Too slow? Too fast?
About right?
Okay. And this is just the consonants. After that comes the vowels. So what is that? What word did you find?
I just noticed in the translation in English, he's actually, if the word was Deka, Dejka. It's translated as milk cow instead of milk cow. He's got a German milk. Just a
Didn't
oops
catch
in the
that.
book.
See, I edited this thing, I didn't catch that.
Well, it would be very easily overlooked.
You know, like some of the translations that people do, you know, they, like "und," they still put "und" in the English translation because it's just, you know, I
Yeah.
catch it, I don't say anything, just one letter difference, "und" and.
Whatever could that first word
Which one? Oh, here.
be?
Police, yeah.
What does the second word mean?
Polizei. There'd be Polizei. Polizei.
Polica, polica, polica. Para. Naples.
Polizia. Emphasis on the first. Polizei.
Polica.
Polizei.
In German, it'd be Polizei.
Polizei, but that's Polizia, right? The YA on the end of it?
It's a Y, yeah, so you don't, the Polica. Polica.
But it is
Polica.
Again, my eyes aren't that good. It's
Polica. Polica.
Polizia. Because there's a CIJA.
Yeah, Polica. I would, the J is like the Y sound.
Yeah.
Polica. Polica, Polica, Polica. We'll have to ask that when we're in Germany.
Well, it's almost like the Spanish Polizia, although your emphasis would be on the first syllable.
So one of the questions we need to ask is it always on the first syllable, or does it move if it's a longer?
Yeah,
Like-
it's a foreign word that's been pulled into the language.
Like marmalade,
Yeah.
you've got a second stress.
Maybe two, is it two accents in marmalade? Marmalade? I mean,
Say it.
Marmalade. 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 What time do you guys want to break for lunch?
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, let's try it at 12, 12:01. So I'm trying to get through with the alphabet. Okay, before lunch. So the P is articulated as in English. Paprika. Say that to me, paprika. What? Paprika, not paprika. Paprika.
Paprika.
Paprika. Hold it.
Yeah, we're still fighting over that one.
Which
I don't know if
one?
I can do it right. Politza. Politza. Politza.
I say it's
Polizia. Could be Polizia. Could be Polizia. 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 That makes more sense. Polizia. Padak. Nepla. Nepla. See, I'm not an expert at this. Okay, but I may say they A, but it's like an E, like an I, like in ship. It's not a long A, so it's more like Nipla. Nipla. Nipla.
In the book, there's an N-E-P-L potato, but I don't have an N-E-P-L-E.
No N-E-P-L-E. Let's see here.
It's funny how so much of it, like Paprika's pepper police.
That's pretty,
Yeah.
I can see that all the time.
N-E-P-L-E.
Plural of potato? I don't know.
Many, Kartoffel.
Yeah.
Potato.
Yeah.
Potato.
Yep, potato, Nepla. Okay.
Parachute.
Oh, R is rolled with the uvula, whatever that is, the thing in the back of your throat. The R in the French frère. I probably didn't say that right. Frère. Regico? Regico? Say that to me. Regico? Room? Radovach. Koru. Komoro. Sroka. Komoro is the name of a town. Any question about any of those words? Okay, now the fun one. Erish. Erish only comes after the consonants K, P, and Ka, Pe, and Te. After the Ka and Pe, the Erish is pronounced as the English sh, shu, or shamrock. So with the P, you start to say a P, but then you say she. With the Krishan, you start to say, or Shishan, you start to say with a K, but you say Zishan. And with the T, or the Te, you start to say T, but then it's C.
We'll repeat after you.
Yeah.
Good.
I'll try. She. Pshestriench. Oh, wait, let's see. Pshestrench. I think. Pshestrench. Psheko. Christian. No. Chestchon. Say it again. Because that word means Christian.
I was going to say.
Chestchon. It takes a little bit of practice to really get it right, but you got the idea. Chiwa. Shinya.
Can we say that again? Let's go through it one more time.
Yeah, sure.
You're mean.
She. Chestrench. Checo. Purse your lips. Checo. Chestchon. Chiwu. Chinya. Like the word Kanipa, the name Kanipa. You've seen that. You know, it could be Nipa, but it's not it's however they want to say it. It's their name, but it's got the same thing. Kanipa. Knobloch. I mean garlic.
Garland?
Knobloch is garlic, right?
Garland or garlic?
Garlic. Knobloch.
And Emily Risky was Knobloch.
Okay, you go over it again?
No.
Okay. Now the T, the combination TR is usually pronounced as a TS in pots. And in very few words as a CH in charming. So the first word is the word for three. She. Like, well, no, it's like in pots. C. It's C. Sea Hodge. Checha. And Bratza. No. Yeah, I'm sure of that. That's a word for brother. Bratza. Bratza. I think that's the word for brother. Maybe not. We're looking that one up because the guy at the bottom of the emails, I think that it's a, I'm not sure. B-R-A-T.
Yeah, it doesn't have the A at the end.
What is it? Brother.
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 Yeah.
Brother. See, but if it doesn't have the A at the end,
Yeah, I wonder what that is with the A at the end. It's almost like it's making it feminine.
with B-R-A-T-R or Bay-Air-A-T-R is brooder. When you have with the when it's got the ersh on it and the A.
But see, this isn't the right R. If you're just looking at B-R-A-T-R, but it's
Yeah.
not the right.
It's not the right
correct
R.
It's not the ersh.
Yeah.
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 So
that's
I
weird.
bet we're looking for a different word.
Maybe. Anyway, but it's brother. But I don't know.
But what's with the A on the end?
Well, and the ersh R.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that question.
That's okay.
Come
we
on,
forgive
Weldon.
you.
But the root of it is brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the next two, Chepatach and Chas.
Chepatach is to shake or something.
And so you say Chepatach. Chepatach. And Chash. That's a strange alphabetical letter.
Yes, it is.
And if you come to the class, by the end of the class, you'll hopefully say it right. But if you wait too long and don't use it, then you.
Yeah, like our Deutsch, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. S is always a voiceless pronunciation, as in the English word mass, with a few exceptions, Saxi and Klashura. Okay. So S. Serbsky, Swedjan, Swati, Hassa, Kirsten. It's Swatu, not Swati. You guys gotta catch me on that. Keep learning.
I'm
Swatu.
gonna take a picture of that too.
So Swatu, if I'm not mistaken, I think that means holy. Someone wanna check that out? Swatu? And Swedjan is another word that you'll hear in songs. Of course, you know what Serbsky means, right? Sorbian? Okay.
That's where I get that adding the ski to the end of everything, huh?
Yeah, holy or sacred.
What does Swedjan mean?
Festival.
Beg your pardon?
Festival.
Swedjan.
Wedge. Say it again.
Swedjan.
Swedjan. Swedjan.
The second word.
Yes.
Swedjan.
Mhm.
Swedjan.
Swedjan.
Yeah, celebration.
A celebration, a
Celebration
sweating.
or festival.
Okay.
Huh.
So within the word spray walk, the river's free, and often in the words student, university student, and sport or sports, the ST is pronounced as sta and spa. So stadion, starry, staru, excuse me, staru. That means old. Staru means old. Stopyane. Stopyane. Say stopyane. Stopyane. The combination of consonants SCH consists of two sounds, the S and the CH. Shajawanka is pronounced Skajawanka. Skajawanka. The CH is a ka, remember? S and the ka. Skajawanka. Skajawanka. So skod, not showed, or showed, is skod, because of CH. That's the ka.
Postcode.
Postcode. Skajek. Skajets. 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 Skilets so. Skilets so means. Yaku so means thank you.
Yaka you.
Skilets so. What does that mean?
Bend, stoop, or bow?
Do what?
To bend, stoop, or bow?
Skilets?
Skillet so.
Yeah.
Huh. Why are we not finding that? There.
Oh yeah, to bend, stoop, bow.
So in German, Neigen and Beugen, don't ring a bell?
What's
I'm just looking at Soblek, who's on it in German. Okay, any questions about the S? The Esh is pronounced as sh in the English word shadow.
Shula?
Well,
Shula, yes.
What's that? Shula.
sorry, I just noticed we've got 2 comments from the internet audience.
Okay.
David Gakey says that instead of Serbsky, it should be Serbsky.
That's probably right. Serbsky, yeah.
I hope I
Okay.
pronounced that correctly.
Okay.
There.
And the other question is for feminine/masculine, can we assume that it's an A for feminine and O for masculine, as in like Latin languages, or is it something different?
That's what we talked about earlier, because
Okay.
The brother
because
thing.
John Killian would write his name Yana Kiliana, and Yanu Kilianu would be Anna. Okay, so there's some confusion there in my mind, unless I've got it another way around.
Okay. We'll see if we get any more.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah.
And they're about
That makes
90
sense.
seconds behind what we're actually
Okay.
doing right now,
Okay.
so
All right.
may take a bit.
So Serbsky. Serbsky.
There.
Let's say that right. Serbsky. So we were down to Shula. Shula, that's school.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Shikwanu. 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 Shunka. Budishin. Malasetsi. Malashetsi.
That's Mousewitch.
Mousewitch.
I know.
Malashetsi. Malashetsu.
Malashetsu.
Budishin.
Bouncing.
Okay, moving on. The T, the T is pronounced as in English. Taller. Tapata. Truhach-so.
Truhach-so.
Tomata.
Tomato.
Taller is like dollar, or that's a medium of exchange.
Okay.
Well, it's the same in German. The old German dollar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving now to the last ones. The W is pronounced as the W in the English word wine with both lips. It's pronounced like the öl.
Öl.
Wookie. Wickawar. Wonka. La. Komaro. Kowar. Yadwiga. Kowar. That's the same as Kowar Smith. Blacksmith. Wookie, I think, is small or large, one of the two. It remains silent at the beginning of a word if followed by a consonant. Rogla. Sitko. Shudze. The Z has a voice pronunciation as a Z in the English word zebra or zoom. Zup. Zadu. Zuma. Waza. At the end of a word, it becomes voiceless. Zakad. Zikad. I think I'm doing it right, but Narad. Wobrath. The jet is pronounced as the S in the English words television or usual. Television, usual. It's like the Jew sound. Java. Musical. Garaja. Jerk. That's pretty good. That's a good one to practice on. At the end of the word becomes voiceless. Key. Bomb.
Yeah.
Juge. Cease. I think. In the cited words, a J is inserted before the pronounced che. So, Kaj is pronounced as Kaish, I think. Kaish. You'll say with me whether it's right or wrong. Before we get through, let's get through the vowels and do something else. Kaish,
Kaish,
Tesh,
Tesh,
Jesh,
Jesh,
Stosh,
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 Tush.
Tush.
Okay. This is just to get you familiar with it, not to make you experts on it. Okay. All right, vowels. The ah is bright and clear as the first ah in the English word drama. Ah, drama. It's a short ah, short a as we would say, drama. Woda, lampa,
Lampa,
subla,
Subla,
garaja.
Garaja.
Subla is onion.
Oh.
Subla. See, I remember some words. Okay, the E, it has an open pronunciation as the E in the English word set. So while it's pronounced, while we say it's an A in the alphabet, it's pronounced as E. Hella, respect.
Respect.
Helena,
Helena.
Benno.
Benno.
Preceding the soft consonants, the A often becomes a closed E, as in German, as in the French pronunciation of the word. Is that santé? Okay, so then it becomes the A sound. Prech,
Fresh.
Sabia,
Savior.
Leju,
Leju.
Radio Watch.
Radio Watch.
Okay, any questions about that? The esh lies between the Sorbian I, the E, and the A. As in the double E in the English word beer. So it's ear, ear, ear. I mean, it's a, so it's halfway between the I and the E. The A and the E and the A. So it's lesh, ear, lesh, ear, beer, ear, lesh. Is that right? Lish. Maybe it's more like lish. Mesh.
Mir.
Mesh. You can't put the R in there. See, if you think about the beer,
Gotcha.
leer. I mean, every word that's double E in English has got an R at the end of it, doesn't it? B, but that's B. That's a
Oh, me.
Mirko. Mirko is, see, Mirko, you can make it like sound like beer. Mirko, that's Mark.
Mir.
Mirko. And Mirana. And then the E is always realized as a Sorbian bright E, as in the English word C. Weakor. Hida.
Hida.
Least.
Least.
Lisa.
Lisa.
Gee, I wonder what that one is.
Okay, we got a couple more vowels.
Uh-oh.
O usually has an open realization, as in the English word call. Ah, so it's like a short O. Ah. Okay. Sposa.
Sposa.
Kari.
Kari.
Drewa.
Drewa.
Naku.
Naku.
Naksu. Naksu.
Nak.
Naksu.
Naksu.
If the CH is a Ka and the C is an S. Naksu. Preceding the W and the O has a closed relation, as in the English word bowling. So it's like an O.
So long line.
Oh, long.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Must be Dave. Okay, so let's try it. Kowa.
Koa.
The first one because before the is an O, but the second one is like an A. Kowa. Kamuro.
Commonwealth.
I think. Comoro. Powest. Powest. So you gotta put the Powest, all those, the S and the
It
C
would
sound
be, it
together.
would be O, wouldn't it?
Powest.
Okay, like in Bowie, okay,
Yeah, po.
Powest. And then, that's a,
That's the L
L and a
slash,
M.
yeah.
so it's comb, comb, no L sound, comb, comb. Chom, no, it's chom, chom, it's a chain,
Got that,
chom. And then the pronunciation of the the ut, the ut, right, that's the O.
Oh, it is a
Oh, that's an ut. Okay. The pronunciation of an ut lies between O and ut, and oo, approximately as in the English word hood, hood, although it's still a bit more open. Let's see, so, the charnobo, charnobo. Root. Root. You don't pronounce the H, it's root. 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 Woodnew. 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 Any question over that? I think Hrud is a castle. Oo is pronounced as the double O in the English word tool. Ooh. Shula.
Shula.
Crew. Or should it be Rue? I'm not sure. Ludmila. That's a name. Lubina. And the Y is pronounced approximately as the first E or I in the English word impressive. Riba. Budishin. Sibla. Needham. Or Sum. Yasub Serb.
Well, you've always said that's more like a U sound, but
Ypsilon.
yeah, but in the Sorbian Easy,
Okay.
they don't say Yasum Ser, it's Yasim Ser. It is more like the I in impressive.
I think it's like in between.
Yeah, but it's.
Yeah.
That's why I like Sorbian Easy, because they actually give you the verbalizing of the words,
Yep.
and you can read them, but,
Is it upper?
sorry?
Is it for upper Sorbian?
Yeah, it's Upper Sorbian. Yeah. Sorbian easy is Upper Sorbian.
And you gotta watch when you go to hunt for it, because you've got the German version, Sorbisch Light, and then the Sorbian Easy. They used to both be in the Play Store, but now I think only the German one is, so you have to hunt on Google for Sorbian Easy. But then you can download it in your phone. So it's-
And it gives you pronunciation.
Yeah, but they don't go in and like give you the alphabet and stuff like that. It's all phrases and words and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
Interesting.
Lunchtime is high noon.
It's high news. Oh my. Oh my. Alright, so now that our hands all jumbled up.
Renetta, how are you
Time for a
doing?
break.
Hanging in there? Okay.
Are you gonna want tax with this books?
No, if you want the books, I think the price is in the front
It says
of them.
tax
It is?
included.
Tax is already in it, yeah.
Okay, very good.
Do these books?
So that
help
extra dollar can just be a
class?
donation,
Yeah,
right?
pardon?
Do these books, did you take these books to the class?
Well, when we're in the class, we use this one, which is German Wendish. This is one we made here that's English Wendish. Okay, so this was not the class. This is what we used in the class. And that particular blue one was out of print when we were over there, so I negotiated with the Bill Levine and Gerald Stone, and so we printed that one over here. Okay, so that was not in the class. And the only, then I had ordered some of these which are English to Wendish, but they haven't come in yet. I ordered them the 10th of January, 10th of December. And so they got lost somewhere over Christmas. Anyway, so, but this is English to Wendish. This one is Wendish to English. But
So
this-
we'd be looking for those in the museum sometime soon.
Yeah, because this is the only one that was in the museum. They just said they're wrong.
Yes, sir.
So it's really not for sale, but these others are at whatever price. Now, the blue one is hardback and soft cover. So if you want hardback, you can negotiate on those with your neighbor. Yeah. But they're identical.
There's two more hardbacks, there's only one.
Do you want a red bag? Because I read it.
Here's hardback. Just break for lunch. I'm gonna go to the, there's a pizza place across the road, there's all kinds of things up to 90. Yeah, so just have a break. Jevjatu.
Say that again. Not.
Yes, in this particular case, the W has a V sound, according to what I was told. This is what I recall the way we said it in Germany.
Jevjati.
Jevjech and Jevjati. Yatu. Jevjatu.
Jevjatu. Makes sense.
Jesatu.
Jesatu.
Then 11. Yednatu.
Yednatu.
Dwanatu.
Dwanatu.
Sinatu.
Sinatu.
Stirnatu.
Stirnatu.
Piatnatu.
Piatnatu.
Don't say tu, say tu.
Tu.
Yeah.
Tu.
Tu. So
Natu.
stirnatu,
Natu.
piatnatu,
Piatnatu.
seasnatu,
Seasnatu.
sidamnatu,
Sidamnatu.
wosumnatu,
Wosumnatu.
jevjatnatu,
Jevjatnatu.
dwaseti.
Dwaseti.
Dwasetu.
Dwasetu.
Dwaseti, right.
Dwaseta.
Yeah.
Dwaseta.
Dwaseta. First syllable.
All right.
This is more of an exercise in taming your tongue. So we're going through we're going to just 21, 22, 30, 33, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80.
We're skipping around a lot, aren't we there?
Yeah, just to give you an idea, then you can, once you get a handle on this, then you can put the words together. See, like 21 is yen, that's one.
Yeah.
And dwashetchi, 21, 1 and 20.
As in Deutsch. 21.
Jeden dwasetchi.
A.
Jeden dwasetchi.
Dwasetchi.
Okay, 22 is dwai dwasetchi. Dwasetchi. 30 is sisetchi. Because it's a air after the T is C. So sisetchi. And you gotta, so this is one sound, that's one sound, that's one sound. They're all sounds.
So what is the TR?
The TR is the S.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't say the T, but it's the Erish. Sisetchi. Say sisetchi. 33 is sisetchi. 3 and 30. Sisetchi. If you get the concept down, you'll be close enough. And they can fine tune it in Germany. Or you can listen to the thing on the, and we'll show you later on how to get better at it. And then 40 is Stirsetchi. And 41 would be Stirsetchi. 42 would be Dwai Stirsetchi. See how you can sort of keep on going then once you get them down. 43 would be Stirsetchi.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yeah.
50 is a couple different ways. PH JSOT or POSTA. So
I like Polsta.
or well, no, maybe POSTA is the numeral.
No,
Okay, it's not. It's
No.
both of them, right?
Postati is the numeral.
Okay. Okay. So POSTA is just another way of saying 50. Okay. Or PH JSOT2. Okay. Either way. POSTA. 60. CH JSOT. CH JSOT. Say it. CH JSOT. CH JSOT. Is anybody here over 60? CH JSOT?
I'm right there.
So what's-
Yes,
So how old are you, Jim?
63.
63, so say it. You gotta go find the 3.
She, such just like.
Okay, say it again, a little more enthusiasm.
39. She, such just like.
Okay. See, such JSOC, yeah. Okay. Sidum JSOC. So anybody 70? I'm 70. I'm 71. So I'm Yedin Sidum JSOC.
So you would say yes, and then something.
I think you could. Okay. So Yasum Yedin Sidum JSOC. Okay.
Yasem, I am.
Yasum. Yeah. And then 80 is Vosum JSOC. 90. Jevyech JSOC.
Say it again.
Jevyech JSOC.
So that W, are you saying is a V?
In this particular case, that's the way I was taught to say it. Yeah. Unless you go there and somebody else says, no, you don't. But that's the way we were taught to say it. Jevyech JSOC.
Yeah.
100 is straw.
That's my favorite one so far.
That's, you gotta remember how it's spelled, because there's another straw which is O with the acute. That means who or what. Same, almost the same sound. But again, context will determine. Okay, so 101. Now this is the difference. It's, the 100 comes first. The 101. Sto Ayed.
Do Ayed. Do Ayed.
So 200 is Dwesche. Dwesche. 300 is Sista. Like sister almost. Sista. 400 Stirista. 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 500 Piechto. 600 siesta. And 1,000 is Tusach.
So is anything over 100, it's flipped then? So that the 100 or 200 is first and then the number?
Okay, so let's say, what's 100, what would be 121?
So,
101 and 20.
101 and 20.
Okay.
I think so.
So you wouldn't put the
Well, here's 1497.
Yeah, there's
written.
examples. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so let's go, I think that's.
Whoa. Yeah, that would be, whoa.
Okay, yeah, 1497. Tusach, Stirista, Sidum, Jevyech JSOC. So figure that one out. Tusach is what?
Well, it's
1,000.
1,000. Stirista is 400, right?
Yeah.
1,400. But then it's 790.
7 and
Yeah,
9.
7.
So it's only the ones in the tens that are flipped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1,000,
400.
400,
And
and
790.
and 90.
Can we do 1854?
Okay, yeah, okay. So y'all tell me how to do it.
Right.
Okay.
Nice, that.
Tusach?
Two sides.
Okay.
Well,
I know.
800.
We don't have 800 on here.
Okay, 800 would be, 800. Walthamstow. Tisach, Walthamstow. What's next?
Yeah.
What?
And then 5.
54, right? How do you do 54?
Oh, 54.
4 and 50.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 4 is? That's a good question, Mr. Historian. What happened in 1864?
Then that's,
Yeah, okay. So, Tisach, Walthamstow, Stiri, Polska. And I'm gonna say that's correct, unless somebody comes back and says, no, it should be Stiri, ESJ.
I'll just wait till Dave weighs in online.
Well, maybe. Okay, so write down on a piece of paper the year you were born. Oh. Figure it out. Then you're gonna tell us. Okay, that's not, the 1497 is not the year, that's a number. The year is down here, you see these?
Oh, okay. So it's a little bit different.
It's a little bit different, it's 19, it's 17, it's 14. And that's a 1,000.
That's one.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So if you say 1990, I was born in 1949, so it's not, I wasn't born in 1942. Letolichby is a year, okay?
Was some,
So you should be at this.
Yes.
shall we all start off with you,
So what is the STOW?
That's how you say, like 19, let's see, wait a minute.
No, the first part of it is 19, but then the STOW.
That's 100. That's 100.
STOW is 100?
1900, yeah, I think. Well,
Oh, I can look it up in this book right in front of me.
I'm looking up here too.
Well, because he said, this is you, and this is me.
Stowe is 100.
Oh, okay.
19.
so if it's 1950, do I add Stowe after the,
Yeah, after your Jevyat Nachi. So it's the year and with the word Stowe.
So still like 100?
Stowe is what is, yeah, 100, 1900.
But STO?
It's both.
It's both.
Stowe is both what?
It's,
100 and,
it's 100. This Stowe that we have here is the same as the Stowe up here.
Gotcha.
So we all have J with notches.
Nachi stove.
Well, you do the lonesome part. Susan
I'm gonna use the short one, pole stuff.
Well, how do you pronounce 50 there?
Pole stuff, use the easy one.
No, the one on the left.
PHJ side.
Yes,
PHJ side.
yes, right. Yes.
So when you're ready, everybody ready?
For what?
To say your birth year.
Yes.
Okay, I have one question, Weldon. On the E, we've been tending to say but on here it says I as in Bill.
Yeah.
It should be
Yeah.
more
No, J
Yeah.
here.
eh.
No, this is J.
Say it a few times for yourself before you're gonna ask yourself.
This is J.
Oh, I've already lost mine.
Yeah, and then your Luigi, said she, you got for the board. This is
What number are you trying to say?
We're trying to say the 1900.
1900 would be Jevyat Nacha.
Nacha.
Because that W is a V, right?
That's the way I was
That W
talking.
is a V.
Dwevia nacha stove. Dwevia nacha.
Stove. Jevyat Nacha stove.
Dwevia nacha stove. Dwevia. Yatshe.
Okay, so I'm gonna say my name, my year of birth, and see if I'm saying it right. Okay.
Okay.
I had fun with this because so many that are the same. Jevyat Nacha stove. Jevyat Stirsechi.
It's 9,
1900.
Right. I just meant.
If it's not just
I was looking.
Jevyat Nacha stove.
49.
Dwevia nacha.
Jevyat Nacha.
Dwevia nacha
That's
stove.
19. Jevyat Nacha stove. Which you're looking for yours?
I missed.
What-
Well, mine would be, yes. How do you say that? Nine. One more time on the 9.
Jevyat.
Jevyat.
Jevyat is 9. Jevyat is 9.
Okay, you don't have the.
So here, this is so
Jevyat.
1999 would be Jevyat Nacha stove. Jevyat. Jevyat Nacha.
Jevyat Nacha stove.
Jevyat Nacha.
I'm 69.
Okay, you're 69. Okay, so.
Look that up.
Jevyat Natchez stove, Jevyat
Yeah.
CSJSOT. 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 All those slurry sounds, you gotta sort of come right after the CSJSOT. Okay. All right, so Jim, let's give it a try over here.
Okay. 19 100 6 5 часа.
1959?
56.
Okay, that's right, 56, yes, yes, it's 56, okay. So when they say the number in Wendy's, see if we can see what it is, say it out in English. You know, like if I, in 1949, I say in Wendy's, and you say 1940, see if you can say that you're right in English.
Well, then can you say 6 again? Because that first S, shouldn't that be SH? The sound?
6?
Shesh.
Yeah.
Shesh.
JSOT. JSOT. Yeah, you're right.
It's like shish.
Yeah. I mean, the S sound is separate from the chet. But the che is chess, JSOT. Okay, Carol, go on.
Dziewiętnaście sto dwaj Jason.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Okay, say, but it's not dwaj.
Okay.
It's dwy.
Dwy. Okay.
Okay, say it again.
Okay. Dziewiętnaście sto dwaj Jason.
Why, what?
Dwaj Jason.
What decade?
50s.
Polster. Polster.
Oh, Polster.
Polster.
I didn't say that, I was trying to be fancy.
Pietz.
Yeah, I gave up.
PSJSOT or Polster?
PSJSOT.
Say it one more time.
Okay,
Either
you want
way.
me to say Polster instead of?
Whatever you are more comfortable with.
Polster, okay. Dziewiętnaście sto dwaj Polster.
Why Polster?
Dwaj Polster,
So
okay.
52, right?
Yeah.
1952.
That's yours too?
No. I'm just trying to
Good card.
translate.
No, she's not till 65.
Yeah.
Actually, mine is Deja. Dziewiętnaście sto dwaj Polster.
So it's,
In 1952.
okay, so
It's the same.
Dziewiętnaście.
Dziewiętnaście sto dwaj Polster.
Okay,
250.
okay. Samantha.
Dziewiętnaście sto osiem Sodom Jesat.
Southern
Seventy-eight.
Daytime.
Sodom Jesat.
Okay, so,
Jason.
Or 77.
78.
okay, so you're 77? 78.
78.
Okay. So to say it again,
Sodom Jesat.
8 is Walsum. Did you say Walsum?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Okay, say it again,
Okay.
the whole thing.
Oh, jeez. Dziewiętnaście sto osiem Sodom Jesat.
Okay. So the first part is Dziewiętnaście. Dziewiętnaście. Dziewiętnaście, so,
Dziewiętnaście sto osiem Sodom Jesat.
Oh, I see.
that's right. That's right.
Appreciate English now.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. Can you just say 60? That one is just.
Yes. JSOT.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Tell me your name, I don't have your name on here, I can't.
Oh, Susan.
Susan, last name?
It's the same as hers.
Okay, okay. Susan?
Yes.
Susan.
Okay. No wonder I couldn't remember, I didn't write it down. Okay. Okay. We may go for it, Susan?
Oh, Juliet Manchester, Juliet,
Yeah. What,
Juliet, Sheshaya,
Jason.
so,
Sashi,
oh, okay. So one more time?
Juliet Manchester, Juliet, Sheshta,
1969?
Yep.
That was hard.
Yes.
Jeviet Nachisto, Jeviet, Jason. Bernetta?
Mantra, Stowe, Wilson, Sterici.
Oh,
Sterici.
Steer, let's see, so 40? Steer-Setchi. 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 Setchi. The C is a C, like an S, like a S sound. Steer-Setchi, if you want to. Steer-Setchi.
Stir. Like stirring the pot.
Okay, Bernetta, one more time.
She's like, please no.
I can't even say it anymore.
No.
Stowe, Wilson, Yeah, I know. So she can say
Come on, Carol, you're next.
I'm older. You're talking to me?
No, Carol. No.
Oh.
So, what am I doing?
Yeah,
Call me.
Just what she said.
Jevianachi, Stowe, Wilson, Sterici.
Okay, okay.
What you said.
Okay.
Good year.
Oh,
You ready?
okay. Jevianachi, Stowe, Biech, Jesat?
Says Jason.
Jesat.
Say it again.
Okay.
Jeviet Nacho.
Jevianachi, Stowe, Stowe, Biech,
Says
65 is what I was going for.
Okay, Michelle.
Jeviet nacha sto Jeviach Pietza Jasot. Jasot?
59?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So say it again.
Jeviet nacha sto
We got that down.
Jeviach Pietza Jasot.
Okay.
Yeah?
Jeviet, not Jeviach.
Jeviet.
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 Say it again.
Jeviet nacha sto Jeviet Pietza Jasot.
Well, let's close. PH Jason.
Pietz Jasot. Pietz Jasot.
50.
Yeah, 59.
Sven.
Jevianachi, Stowe, PSJ suck.
Okay, 50.
1950. Awesome, yours was easy.
Easy, right? Thank you. Okay, so So let's take this 1854 and let's make it into a year. Okay, up here it's a number. Okay.
He's going to the conjugation of the verb.
Oh.
Or wait.
Let's make it a year. 1854. Okay. Okay, Wosamnachi.
Okay, 18.
Stove.
Okay, now what do I put here? C, is it a chet or a chet? Or is chet? Or
It's
che?
a chet. It's a
Chet?
chet.
Wosamnachi.
Stove.
Stove.
What did you say?
Is it styria? Is this a S or an esh?
Esh.
It's an esh.
It's an esh, so it's got an acute, right?
Esh.
Okay.
The 4?
Four.
It's got the V.
Okay,
It's a
so
V
it's
on
got a
top.
V? Okay, it's got the corona. Okay, steer what?
Shirley, I.
I?
I.
Steer root.
Holster.
Upholsterer.
Yes. Yes, I like those.
Okay, so Wosamnachi sto, stiri upholsterer. Thank you for not asking me to spell PHJ stuff.
But they're interchangeable, right?
I think so. I think so. Okay.
It's pronounced P-H.
Ditch.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
one
J.
syllable, sort of. Ditch.
Yes. Yes.
I don't think it's two syllables. I think it's catch.
Yeah, I try to write things down phonetically for me.
See, I tried to write it phonetically and it got me confused.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay, we would go through that. Okay, numbers, okay. Years. What year are we in now? We gotta know that, right?
Why?
Right, T-Sach?
Yeah.
Right,
That's
T-Sach?
true.
What? Right, T-Sach? So 22, how do you say 22? 20, it's 20, it's 20, it's 20, it's 20, it's 20.
Dwachi.
Dwasechi?
Sechi.
2020?
Yeah.
So how do you spell that?
D-W-A-C-E-C.
Oh, I apologize. You were looking.
Dwasechi.
Dwasechi.
Dwa. Se. Chi. Right? Is that right?
You need a stove?
Yeah.
Where's our?
There's a snow in here.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Dwatisach do?
T-Sach stove.
Well, I don't think you need the stow, do you? Because you're saying 2,000. You're not saying stow is 100.
No, that's 20.
True.
When we
Yeah.
wouldn't
You're
say
right, okay, right,
2,100,
right.
we're using the
So
word
this is-
2,000.
So
Yeah.
this is 2,000.
That's
Yeah,
2,000.
2020.
So you don't need a stow.
Okay.
Oh,
Tisach?
Dwachi.
Tisach is thousands.
Yes, and then Dwasechi.
20.
Dwasechi.
Why Tisach? 2,000.
And then 20 is DWACE,
Come on. Oh, okay.
C with the chet, and then I.
Okay, and say that for me.
Dwasechi.
Dwasechi. Is that right?
Dwasechi.
Why Tisach?
Dwasechi.
Dwasechi.
What's 2,000? That's 2,000, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
But we have a special word for 2,000 instead of 2,000.
I think this is right.
We're gonna say it's right.
Yeah, that's right. Survey says.
So Weldon, you say it one more time for us.
Which one?
2020.
Droit tout ça, droit setchi.
Two such droit setchi.
Droit tout ça, droit setchi.
Droit tout such. Droit setchi. Droit tout such.
Sometimes it sounds like Ogalala Sioux to me.
I'm hearing the same thing.
What's next year? Next year would be this, plus jeden, not the emphasis. Droit setchi. And 22 would be droit tout ça, droit setchi.
Ja, zoom, sir.
Okay.
Ja.
We'll go pretty quickly here, but, so these are the personal pronouns. First person, second person, third person. Singular, dual, and plural. Singular, one, dual two, plural more than two. Wendish is one of the only languages that refers to two, as opposed to plural. Okay? So that's why we say yasum serve, I. Tusum serve, well that wouldn't be exactly right, but you.
We have that on the back page.
And this is won, wona, woni. Won, wona, wona. Masculine, feminine, neuter. Okay? He, she, it. Okay? That's third person, right? He, she, it? English teacher?
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you saying, say again?
Third person, singular is he, she, it.
Third person.
He, she, it.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
We just, I don't know, we just call them pronouns. Second grade.
Moi is when you're referring to like two people. And moi is, well, okay, how would it be?
Second person.
Moi would be with like me and somebody else.
We, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but we meaning just us two.
Mhm. Well, in English, you would say like,
You would
she and I,
Yeah,
or,
right, and he would say moi. And then more than that is mu. Like we, this is, right? I mean, I'm saying this right?
We more than two.
I,
that would be like she and
us,
I,
and we.
we or us,
That's
either
okay,
one.
okay. Then second person is,
You.
that's you, right?
Mhm.
Is that right?
You
And
two.
then you two, and then
Y'all.
Y'all.
them.
Y'all.
Y'all.
And
Y'all.
then third person.
Why? How would you say why?
He, she, and it.
Woo.
They, I guess. And then over there it's also they,
They.
or them.
Mhm.
Just masculine and feminine. Well, no, it's masculine and neuter.
Depends on how you identify that.
Yeah. Anyway, so you see, this is to get you a feel for the personal pronouns. Ya, tu, won, wona, woni. Won, wona, wona. He, she, it. And plural is mu, wu, and woni, wona. Okay? Got that? Personal pronouns. I guess I was telling Carolyn and Jim at lunch that the Wendish language didn't get written until like the 1700s, early 1700s. And most of it was biblical, like translating the Bible. And when you think about all these different structure of conjugations and declinations and personal pronouns, it's very much like Latin, organized language. And so that's my only thing, but they had to figure out a way to put this language into a framework. And I think that they used, and because the priests did it, the priests were trained in Latin. So I think that's my way I perceive why it was written like this. Okay? Next thing is to be or not to be. Which is the verb, but you don't see it anywhere up here.
Yeah, that made that real hard to find in the book.
Yeah.
I spent about 20 minutes.
There's maybe what's called, there's regular verbs and irregular verbs, and what George Nielsen says, this is not really hard language to learn until you get to the irregular verbs. And as well as like English. Who can learn English? If you don't know it, didn't learn from birth. But they do. So this can be learned if you didn't learn from birth. So this is I am. So instead of saying Ja sumsorb, we could say sumsorb. I am Wendish. Ja just makes it more emphasis. Sumsorb. Su-serb. Su, you. You're winds. Yeah, yes sir. We're winds. No, that's plural. He or she. Okay, he, she, it. It's a wind, she's a wind, he's a wind. Me, you, he, she, it. Forget about the dual right now. Plural. Smooth. We're winds. Would that be right? We. Okay. Sch is you plural. Su is they. Are. You plural are. We are. That's the conjugation of the verb butch. Or you can say it's a bitch. There's ways you can learn it, you know. Teach yourself how to learn this stuff. Okay, so that's the conjugation of the verb which to be. Ja sumsorb. Sumsorb. Okay. Let's see here. Kaptu Rekash. What is your name? Kaptu Rekash.
What is your name?
What is your name? Kaptu Rekash. And that is yeah, just turn your page over. So Kaptu Rekash. Rekam Weldon. Jim, Kaptu Rekash.
Rekam Jim.
Carol, Kaptu Rekash.
Rekam Carol.
Kaptu Rekash.
Rekam Bishar.
Kaptu Rekash.
Rekam Sarapa.
Kaptu Rekash. Michelle.
Rakam Michelle.
Kim, Kaptu Rekash.
Rekam Kim.
Bernetta.
Bernetta.
Susan.
Rekam Susan.
Rekam Lynn.
Okay. All right, so you asked her what her name is.
Kapti,
Kaptu.
Kaptu Rekash.
Okay, now you asked Susan.
Rekam Susan.
I like that. Kaptu Rekash.
Kaptu Rekash.
Was ist das Name?
Katu Rekash.
Kim.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Katu Rekash.
Rekam Kim.
Okay, yes, Michelle.
Okay.
No, Michelle.
Miss Michelle.
Sorry, my cousin. Rock.
Rock and Michelle.
Rick Conley, not Rock.
Rock, Rick. What'd I say, rock on?
Yeah.
Rock on.
Rock on.
Okay, go back to Samantha. Talk to Samantha.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to Rekash.
Here comes Samantha.
Oh, they're good.
Raycom, Rayshard.
Reshard.
Talk to Raykash.
Rickon Carroll. Talk to Rickosh.
Talk to Rikash.
Talk to Rekash.
Jerry. He's in space.
So fair.
Okay. Jay Boodlish, where do you live?
Ah, say it again.
Jay Boodlish.
Jay Boolish. Where is this at?
Turn the left, just turn your thing over,
back,
turn your
it's
thing
right
over, all the way
there.
over on the backside. Backside.
All the way there, right here.
Ah,
I don't see that one. Oh, here.
yeah, so the
Here,
second one on the
here.
top,
It's
yeah.
up here.
Jay,
And again, that was where.
Jay
you live.
Boodlish, where do you live? Boodlish, Wahlberg.
Boodlish,
Boodlish. Boodloo, Wahlberg. You don't, this is, my understanding is we don't say that.
We don't say that.
Okay. But it's in the sentence, it's sort of like understood. Boodloo, Wahlberg.
Boodloo, Boodlish.
Jay
Jay
Boodlish.
Boodlish.
Glenn.
Boogaloo Aggieland.
So ask Carol.
Hey, Blue Boodlish.
Jay, no, Jay.
Jay Boodlish.
Jay.
Hey, Blue Boodlish.
Jay.
Jay?
Jay.
Jay Boodlish.
Jay.
Jay Boodlish. Where?
On Alaska.
Okay.
Jay Boodlish.
Go.
Austin.
Okay.
Jay Boolish.
Boodloo.
Boodloo. Jay Boodloo.
No, Boodloo is Austin.
Okay.
No,
Jay
she's
Boolish.
asking me.
Right.
Jay Boolish.
Okay. Boodloo Lampasas. Jay Boodlish.
Boodloo. What the?
Okay, ask Samantha.
Yeah, I keep forgetting where I'm going. Jay Boodlish.
Boodloo Congo. Jay Boodlish.
Boodloo Bernie. Jay Boodlish.
Boodloo Humble. Jay Boodlish.
Boogaloo Roanoke.
Okay.
Jay Boodlish.
Boodloo Hutto. Jay Boodlish.
Hutto.
Hutto.
She's a Hutto.
Oh,
I was at
Boodloo, Wahlberg, Texasa. Say Texasa. Texasa, that's Texas.
Texasa.
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 It's Texas.
Texasa.
Texas. Texasa. Or the Texasa.
Texasa.
Lampasa. So let's do it again, but say the words using the Wendish alphabet. So in your case, the A would be a ah.
Not really.
What was your graduation?
But this could take a while.
12.
Just,
had
okay, just say your town using the German, I mean, Wendish alphabet. Aguilar.
Yeah.
Aguilar. Yeah.
I used to have so much fun.
Wahlberg, Texasa. Aguilar, Texasa.
Texasa. Huerta, Texasa.
Austin?
Say it.
Austin.
Austin.
That's off.
Texas.
How do you say Amsterdam in Dutch?
Amsterdam. Netherlands.
Netherlands.
The Netherlands is Netherlands.
No, it's like Dutch.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you could, whatever, there's probably a Wendish word for
We just don't know what it is.
that. Carol, you say now, where you live in Wendish?
Me?
Alaska.
Oh, no.
On Alaska?
On Alaska.
On
On Alaska. On Alaska.
On
And the state?
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Conroe?
Conroe?
Texas.
Texas.
We're not
Texas.
Texas on?
Yeah, okay.
Humboldt,
Maybe, Umble?
Humboldt.
Go ahead.
Roanoke.
Hato, Uto,
That's what's ground stuff.
Texasa.
Texas.
All right, so this, I don't know a whole lot of this stuff. And I've forgotten a lot since the class. But here's some things to say. So first one is Dobranya. What does that mean? Good day.
Good day.
I think so.
That's good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Dobrzyń is good day. Dobra noc is good night. Okay.
So
Dobranya is
this
good
one is
morning.
good morning.
Rekam Yan Akash tu Rekash. So what does that say? Good morning. My name is Jan. And what is tu? Your name. My
What
name
is your name?
So Dobranya, Rekam Weldon. Akach tu Rekash.
Okay, one more time. Dobranya is,
Dobranya.
Ranya is welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Dobra is good, like it's in most languages.
Gotcha.
Dobra is good.
Uh-huh,
Ranya is morning.
uh-huh.
Rekam, I am. My name is Weldon. And what is your name? Kaktu Rekash.
What is your name? Rakam. Akam. One more time with what is your name? Say it for us.
Kaktu Rekash.
Akaktu Rekash.
But that E has a little thing over it, doesn't it?
Yeah, Rekash. Rekash.
Rekash. Oh my yay. My name is.
Actually, you could say Kaktu Rekash.
Akaktu Rekash?
Rekash, because the et is an I as in Bill.
Right.
Okay? So it's like Kaktu Rekash.
Rekash. Rekash. Rekash. And it's Dobra Run?
Dobra Vranya.
Just like it looks.
Okay, so what do you want, on? You know, what program?
That's, Sorbian Easy.
Okay, okay. So, and where do you find that? That's called Sorbian Easy. So I sent that to
You sent
you.
it to me.
Okay, has everybody got that? You probably did.
No.
You're relatively new. So in here
I
you'll.
got the email that listed about 3 of them.
Yeah.
I just haven't looked them up yet.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what Stosu is, but I think it's who are you?
I was gonna say STO, that first part is who.
Yeah.
I'm looking it
No, it's probably who are you?
Yeah.
Stosu. Stosu.
Because the
Stosu
answer
two.
is
talking to
I
the
am.
next person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the benefit of So Blacks is even though you may not understand German, it'll tell you singular, past, imperfect, plural, you know, those abbreviations for the parts of speech are the same, for the most part.
Yeah, it's gotta be who are you.
Okay, so we got this first stuff down, right? Okay. Dobrania, Rekam Yan, Akak tu Rikash, Rekam Marka, Ashtosu tu, Yasum Milena. So Dober Wichor, what is that, Richard? Dober Wichor.
Dobru.
Dober Wichor.
Good evening.
Good evening? Is that what it says there?
Yeah, good evening.
Say it. Can you hear that?
Dobre Recho. Recho.
He's too fast.
And that's evening?
Good evening, it says. And then that, Watach Nam is welcome.
Itachi Kadam as well.
Is the whole park welcome or?
No, just, that's welcome. Welcome, Itachi Kadam.
Dobra?
Itachi Kadam.
He talks way too fast.
It is pretty fast. We talk slow. But
Yeah, we do.
We're gonna sound
Itachi Kadam.
Chinese.
Where's Pomatsu?
How is WJ supposed to sound when it's together?
With the W.
Just the W and the J
Weird.
silent?
Like a-
Okay.
Where's?
Weird?
Where's? Pomatsu.
Weird? See?
It's what?
I'm gonna make a picture of this little book. I'll tell you why. Because you've got an example like this. Does anybody have one of these things?
Uh-huh.
Just look at it for a second.
Okay.
And you should have one of these new word lists like this, okay? So, no way slow up. New words.
Knowing what new words.
No way slow up.
Okay.
Texty Guchowanya, text and exercises. That's what it says at the top of the page.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Valchech, Soiva,
Page 2.
Starche Ajekci. The nice thing about this book is that all the words are in the back of it, in addition to the answers to the questions. So you can use this to practice. And if you work at it, you'll just get better and better at it.
Now, this book that you have today
That one.
is, you have one that's going to be easier for us to work with in English.
This is English.
Yes.
It's English to Wendish.
English to Wendish.
That's right.
This is English to Wendish. I thought,
We learn Wendish.
And
This
then
one-
we learn English.
right.
We're learning Sorbish.
Yeah. That's-
Same book, but this is, we have
got
translated
you.
into English.
But you said something about you had ordered some that were.
That red book over there, which is an English to German lexicon. English to
Ah,
German lexicon.
I misunderstood that.
This one's Wendish to English.
And this one is more a workbook
A
type thing,
workbook,
like we
yes.
could work with this
Yes, yes.
a little more.
And it's so easy to, I think it's easy to work through.
Because?
Just work at it. You've
Yes,
got the
sir.
alphabet in the front.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't get into the declinations and the conjugations. You've got like, for example, on page 2,
Uh-huh.
okay, you've got the Krause family, the oldsters and the children.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Moosh, that's the man. It could be Mr. Crouch, Yuri, Nan, or Jay Watcher.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you got 4 different ways to describe the man. Then you got Holch, which is Brat, which is brother, Sun, which is son, Jan, which is name, and student. Okay, that's how you can describe the little boy. The mother, Jonah, is Mrs. Then this is where you see the ending, Mrs. Krause. Hilja is her name. She's also Mach, and she's a secretary. I guess you put the accent. Secretary, yeah. Holcha is a girl. She's a Sotra, sister. Jauka, daughter. Hanka, and Wumchomnica, whatever that word means. You can look it up in the lexicon at the back, and that's an apprentice.
Okay.
And then the other girl, Holcha, could be sister, Jauka, Francisca, Schulerker. She's a student. So then you look at the bottom, say, Swoochuj. Now you practice. Non-Rekha. Father, name, Rekha. And just put up your Knes Krauts or Yuri. Nanye, father is Jay Watcher, worker. Okay. Mach Reka, Hilja. Mach Jewa Yaakov. The mother works at okay. So you can work through this little booklet and figure things out, and you have an idea. It doesn't try to teach you everything right away.
Yeah.
It's just how to put things together. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, then in the back of the book, this would be lesson 1. Does lesson 1 have answers? And that's the Klucha Nadaukau. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't go off with, it doesn't do all of the ones that right at the first, it starts with 7. Okay. And so let's go to page 4 of lesson 1. You see where
Page
number
4.
7, it's got a little key down by?
Page 4, gotta get the
Page 4, lesson 1. Lexia 1.
Okay.
Number 7 got a key.
Uh-huh.
The key's in the back of the book. So you
Okay.
work through the answers, you'll find out, you grade yourself.
Gotcha.
Find if you're right or wrong.
Gotcha. Okay, now it's making a little more sense.
Yeah.
But what's funny is, see, the Jocko U, see,
Yako,
Jocko
Jocko.
Jocko U is what,
but that's
Eric
Jock,
College
that's
Jocko you is thank you.
So, that's
Yeah.
thank you. So
Yes.
what is Yako? What does that word mean?
I don't know. I
I'm
just
gonna-
remember
I'm
the
gonna
Jocko
quickly-
you from here,
Yeah.
Waldschmidt.
Right.
Jocko you.
Jocko you so is thank you.
Uh-huh.
J-A-K-O.
But he wasn't adding the so to the end of everything.
I
I don't know why. I
Just because you don't say everything, you know, you are welcome, well, you're welcome. Or
Yeah,
thank you.
just welcome,
Thanks.
thanks. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jocko you.
So,
Would be
you gotta
thanks.
figure what is so, that
So.
might be the word for you.
Uh-huh.
You said,
Yeah.
Yaku you, or Yak, Jock,
Uh-huh.
it's thanks,
Uh-huh.
thanks.
Uh-huh.
You know, Duncan,
Danke, ja,
not
ja.
Duncan Shin,
Yeah,
Duncan,
yeah. Yeah.
I think.
Okay, yeah, cool.
So Yaku is like as,
Yaku is
Yako, right here,
Yako.
Yako. So where do we see that?
Yako.
Did we see it somewhere here?
Yaku, and the bottom there, and D at the end, Yaku.
That's his name.
I thought I saw it up here somewhere.
Nope.
Oh, no, it's in the book.
Oh, okay,
It's in the book.
okay.
But if you go back and look at the lexicon,
Uh-huh.
Yako is as. So it's got a simple lexicon in the back of the book. And then, for example, then on page 22, get the names of all the different foods. 22, lesson 2, lesson 2, page 22. 22,
Uh-huh.
okay? So you get the names of all the foods.
Ah. Putra.
Anyway, so I'm making a pitch, you know, for this book, if you want to learn stuff, it'll take you through it very gently, you just work at it, and it always picks up stuff from the previous chapter, and then you get toward the back and it's got whole paragraphs.
Oh
You know, by that
my.
time you ought to know more, but you don't start there.
No.
You learn how to crawl before
Well,
you
that
walk.
would take me a couple of years probably, yeah.
Well, so in this course in Germany, we only made it like through the first couple of these things. Don't
Yeah.
try to teach it all to you.
Yeah.
But see, the class in Germany has different levels. And Fabian teaches the highest level, and then we learn the alphabet. and a few phrases, and then we start putting it together. And there's some games we play, you know, to help put it together. So that's the benefit of the class. You know, everybody starts at whatever level they are.
Are there really like 10 or 20 or 30 or 40,000 people still speaking it over there like they do?
That's there's always debate on how many people there are. 50, 60,000.
Okay.
Primarily Catholic.
In Malswitch, when I was there, the kindergarten children would come around and sing happy birthday in Windish to the 80 and over people, because they're trying to bring the Windish back there, because they've lost it there too.
And the Sorbian Gymnasium is a learning center where they teach Windish, but they don't teach it in all the schools.
Yeah, they're teaching it in Malswitch to the children
Right,
now.
right.
I thought that was really
Yeah,
neat.
exactly.
Yeah, let's bring it back.
Trying to.
Yeah. I'm gonna make sure Michael knows a few words in Windish. His great-great-great-grandfather would be very proud of him, wouldn't he?
So let's see here. Okay. There's a whole lot more you can learn. Here's some of the places that you can go to. This
Oh,
first
let
one.
me take a picture of that. You sent that to us though, didn't you?
Yeah, so I think the way this is set up is I can actually click on these things and take.
Oh, wait a second. Let's get a picture of that.
Yeah, well, what I'll do is you'll all have this.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
On our email?
Yeah. So this is the, where'd my mouse go?
You're not
I love this.
Okay, so this is VTI. There's not, okay, I gotta stop something. Stop this.
You shouldn't talk out loud, should I?
Okay, here you go. This, get that. Can't even get this off. Oh, I guess you can get it off. Okay. I don't want to buy it right now. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
If you don't
Oh, this is getting worse.
How do you get rid of
TurboTax.
I-
Ignore it.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
CBD. Okay, try CBD.
Yeah, give us all some CBD.
Click over here.
That might help.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Okay. All right. So this is at these. How do you get there? You put this in your website, Upper Sorbian. Anyway, so up here you got Deutsch, English, Upper Sorbian, Lower Sorbian. So you click on English and everything's in English. You click on German, everything's in German.
Oh.
Okay, so you click on English and you register and then you can log in. I've already registered, so I can log in. And so that's my login. Okay, so you got courses. Here's the Upper Sorbian A1. So we're going to go, I think it's going to be in, oh, no, this one, English.
And we are upper.
Okay.
Because we're from the lower
Yeah,
part.
it's the opposite.
And so you get started with stranger. And sound should be coming on, kind words. So there's a way in here that you can, these are the words, you gotta put them in the right order. So you can do a variety of things with this. But that's awful more, I'm thinking that's where I want to go. Play with this thing and find out Upper Sorbian consonants. Let's see, so you should be able to hear the words when you're on your own computer.
Yeah.
I think.
Playing.
Or maybe this is it.
Banana.
Like
Banana.
Okay.
I know that.
Roma. Rot. Fahrrad. Fantasia.
Okay, so the accent is not always on the first.
Giraffe. Lampa. Elisa. Alarm.
It was two syllables on the first. And so that's what this website will do for you. It'll just help you to go through it. So you click on, I think, okay, yeah, so Martin, you take merchant and you move it down, you know, how do you do this? Merchant, and you pull it down here? Merchant, okay, I see, so Eva, that would be, let's try this one. Okay. I'm guessing, I think that's right. nice summary, then it'll tell us whether it's right or wrong. All right, anyway, so that's what you can do with this one. Got all these different choices. Put in the missing letters, doing the alphabet, pronunciation rules. So this is this one. Now to find another one.
Hello, Weldon Mersiovsky. You have 0 points. Continue with chapter 1.
Well, I wonder who built that? Somebody here or over there?
Oh, over there, yeah.
Huh, well,
The, so let's see here. Okay, Soblax is the other one.
But this is all on your email, is it not?
Yeah. And then there's another grammar that you can use. So there's numerous tools. Now, Richard and I have a thing on our phone. Sorbian Easy is not even on here because I got it on mine, and then they took it off and they made it just for Apples.
Oh, is that why we can't get it?
So if
I
you
just
have one, you
looked
can
for
buy
it.
Sorbian
You
Easy,
can
but
get it.
listen to Richard now.
Yes, sir.
Just Google Sorbian Easy,
Uh-huh.
and it'll take you to a link, and then from there you can download it to your phones. You know, like look it up on your phone and just download it, and it'll come up. I don't know why they took it out of the Play Store.
Uh-huh.
They've still got the German version.
Right.
They don't have the English version.
And
Okay, I saw
the,
that, I thought this
I think
can't
they have
be.
the Apple version in there.
So.
Well, not in Play Store, because that's Android.
That's right.
Yeah,
But-
Apple may, I don't
Yeah,
know.
in the Apple Store. If you have an Apple, you should be able to find Sorbian Easy, and it's a fun thing to work through. So they're getting more and more of these things out there to help us learn the language.
Sorbian languages.
Sorbian Easy. So Google Sorbian Easy, and then you can download the app on your cell phone. You can't load it onto your computer, I don't think.
I don't know, you may be able to do it on some tablets, but maybe not on
Yeah.
an actual computer.
We're Upper Sorbian.
Yes. But Sorbian Easy that is Upper Sorbian, so,
Sorbian Easy for Android.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you, if I can, real quick, Rick. Sorry, I have rheumatoid arthritis, and when it kicks in, I can't walk very
So
well.
here's the deal with that class in Germany. For students, it's like 450 euros. For adults, it's 600 euros. That's about $700 for the class, per person. That's for 2 weeks of room and board, food, tours, everything.
That's cheap.
Really, so the expensive thing is getting over there.
Right.
Okay. What some couples did from Eastern Europe is they went on a vacation. They took 2 weeks off in this area, had 2 weeks of immersion into a culture and language. You get fed 3 meals a day, all the coffee you want to drink. In the evening, all the beer you want to drink, all the singing you want. If you like to dance, you can dance. Fabian is fantastic on the accordion. I mean, he can sing and dance and play at the same time. Just be amazed, the talent these guys have. You got break in the morning, break in the afternoon. The classes start at 9, go till noon. You have an hour off for lunch. Come back in the afternoon, work till about 3, class till about 3. Then you go eat supper, rest or eat supper. Then you can party or go on a tour. If you can get there, you don't have any cost there unless you want to go someplace else. It's just anyway. So that's what you got to know. But you got to bring your own towels because it's a boarding school. It's like when you went to college. They gave you a room, a bed, and a table and a light and windows maybe. Okay? It's a boarding school. All your toilets, it's not a hotel. You know, it's a boarding school. Bring your own stuff. Got your own shower. It's a two-person room. So some couples get their own room. They have a 2-week vacation.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, in this culture. So anyways, that's my pitch for the school. So you can register at the Sorbian Institute.
Yeah.
Now,
We done it. That's what we-
so
we done it. We done it.
look at how this again. Come here and so it's Sorbian Institute. Sorbian Institute, Serbsky Institute. Click on that. Scroll down to Summer School 2020. Click on that. Okay. Those are the summer school. 600 for adults, 700 for 450 students. And the registration, if you're interested, is here. You click on this flag, and then everything's in English. You click on that flag, it's in German. Send it in, and you're registered. You don't have to pay till you get there.
Wow.
At least we didn't pay till we got there.
Yeah, it doesn't ask, because I've registered, and it doesn't ask for any money.
Yeah. When you're there, they'll you'll pay.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm saying,
yeah.
you don't have
Yeah. And
to.
so it's a modern facility. So anyway, but the key is registering. We have now, in terms of number of students we have. Let's see, where did I put that? That's in my. Don't be so nice with it. Okay, so Pauline Barrett is an Australian coming. Carol Gregg, Richard Gritzner. So Becky Guilford is in the Noack family. Grant Peacenik is my grandson. Bethany and Rebecca and Jessica are in the same family. No, Jonathan, Bethany, Jessica, and Jonathan in the same family. Rebecca Guilford, I don't really know who she is. Some of y'all might know. Do you know Rebecca Guilford?
No. I also got Sandra.
Sandra Matias and her husband, Ray. So that's actually 11.
Paul's not on there either.
Who?
Paul, my husband.
Right, that's right, because it's
Yeah.
Carol. So Carol and Paul. So that's 10, that's 12.
Well,
They can take about 40, 45 people overall. So if you want to go, you know, make sure that you get registered and then buy your ticket. I bought my ticket first to register. We got a flight on Lufthansa from Austin to, I think, Frankfurt.
Frankfurt, Dresden.
Frankfurt to Dresden, maybe an hour or two lay over there. And then from Dresden, it's a 20, 30-minute ride by car. We just gonna rent our own car because we're gonna go do some traveling around. I've got cousins over there. But you don't need a car. You can get the mountain by a train or a taxi or a bus or whatever.
I went to Germany a few years ago. I manage, if you watch, what is it, Expedia, they'll do flash sales. And I just happened to be looking, because we were debating on whether we could afford it or not,
Yeah.
and we had just paid off a credit card. And I hit a flash sale for Zurich for less than $600.
Yeah.
Wow. So we immediately put it on the credit card. Also, we found out that Euro will do half price sales in about March or April. Because I also ended up for like $300, I think, getting a Euro pass. I forgot how many days, but I got a first class pass and it was like $350, something like that. So if you watch Expedia, flash sales will occasionally occur.
The first time I went to Germany, I've heard that Putin, one of the towns that my ancestors came from was going to be destroyed by strip mining. So I called up the travel agency that my company used. I said, what's a plane trip cost in Germany today? She said, $300 round trip. This is 1989. I bought it. And then I told my wife, I'm going to Germany. I told my brother, he waited 2 days, it cost him $600. It's still about $2. But yeah, those things exist. They're out there, but that's the luck of the draw, though, sort of, too.
And by the way, the train ride up there is just amazing. So
Yeah.
even though you'd be taking a very long train ride, worth every penny.
Yeah, beautiful. I've never been on one, but I just know they are. Last time we went, we said we want to pay $1,000 each. Well, it ended up being like $1,200, but we had going over, we had a 16-hour layover in Zurich. That wasn't too bad because my niece lives right outside of Zurich. She picked us up, we went to her place, slept a little bit, had breakfast, came back. On the way back, we had a 12-hour layover in Zurich and a 16-hour layover in Chicago. Well, we stayed with the niece in Zurich, but then in Chicago, I got a cousin that I hadn't visited forever. So, you know, one of my college friends picked us up, and we took us to her house. We spent the night there. She took us to the airport. So, you know, you do what you have to do. But it was two guys, and so my son and I. But anyway, so that's a class. These books are for sale. There's a price on the inside of them. I'll settle up with you here at the end. Any questions, anything, or you take on the class? I mean, is it worth it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're talking about renting a car when you get to Dresden or whatever?
Dresden, Bautzen, yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna keep the car all that week, or
Yeah, the 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, 'cause sometimes you will want to go somewhere.
They got parking there on site and everything, or?
Yeah, well, it's parallel parking, but there's not that many cars. You park your car and then you sort of leave it there, and then if you need it, I mean, there's always parking around. You have to walk the block, okay,
Yeah.
but there's no parking, you know, right there. Well, there is, but it's not for us. What? No, not in front of this place. This is Bautzen. Yeah, it's not Austin. Yeah. Well, there weren't meters when we were there the last time. Okay.
Is
I
it
don't
Not
think
like,
they are.
yeah, there's usually one at the end of the street, and you put a credit card in.
There weren't any.
Because
there weren't any
that's on
there.
school property where you're talking about,
Well,
right?
yeah, but it's a street, it's not school property.
Just a
Yeah.
street.
So if you get there early, there are bed and breakfasts. Dome Eck is one. We stay at Lausitz Pension. Stayed there a couple times now. Reasonably priced. You can stay at the bed and breakfast under the bridge, which is an ancient bed and breakfast. You know, it's $30 more than the one we stay in. You know, we're tight. You know, but they're also, the last time we were there were no laundromats in Bautzen. Can you believe that? So no public laundromat. So we had a friend from one of the ladies who was in the dance group that came to the Windisch Fest about 3 or 4 years ago now. And so we went to her house. We went out. We washed our clothes there. You know, and then, but the bed and breakfast is washing for you. But you know, you pay for it. But you can get it all done. So don't take a lot of clothes, but a couple, 3 changes, and that's about it. You can get them washed. Somebody will wash it for you.
Mr. surprised you don't have any kind of laundromat or anything at the school.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a boarding school.
You know, it's one of those strange things. There's also no air conditioning, but you don't need it because it's cool. For us, it's cool. Last time we were there in the 80s, they thought it was blistering hot.
I was gonna say, when we were there, it was 80, and they're like, oh, so nice. This is nothing.
But the nights were cool. But the nights were cool, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous. No screens on the windows because there's no mosquitoes.
No
It's not-
bugs, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
It's
wasn't
like,
it great?
how can they do this?
As I'm sitting in their garden, just taking everything in, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, when they got to Texas, they must have said, oh, we've arrived in hell. You know, all the bugs and the heat and everything.
The humidity, they got sunburned.
The snakes,
The heat is
the
what kills
coyotes.
Yeah. You can't work as hard
Really,
as
that's what I thought right away. It's like, oh my gosh, they must have
But
just
yet they
been
have the song
overwhelmed.
Right?
Of course, they're talking about in a spray ball or something.
Yeah, there are mosquitoes over there, but
Yeah.
don't worry nothing about them. I don't know if that's because the chemicals are so strong or what.
And
Not like the ones we have here that'll bite you through your shirt.
That's right.
And Weldon, I've got a question from the interwebs. Are Saturday and Sunday open, or are they for classes?
Saturdays probably classes, Sundays are tours.
Okay.
So I don't know if I shared with y'all. Here's an example of the schedule that we had. Okay, Sorbian class schedule, maybe that's the one. Okay. Yes, this is the whole thing. So this is a Friday and Saturday. Friday is registration. Saturday, what did we do? We didn't do a whole lot. Had some classes in the morning, then a film, then singing and games in the evening. On Sunday, we went to the Schleifer region in northern Upper Lusatia. And on Saturday, this is Saturday before. Okay, so this is Monday is Panjiwa. Classes, film, classes, tour of the town. No, this might have been a lecture about the town.
And you're saying the one that's coming is gonna be comparable to what this schedule was?
Classes, a lecture, singing, okay. Classes in the morning for a couple hours, then a lecture right after lunch, and classes, and then went to the Sorbian Institute, did some singing, partying, folk dancing, evening.
Partying, and
Sunday,
partying.
excursion to the Catholic area.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I went to
And then
Pauschwitz-Kau, I saw
The
it.
next week, same thing, except we went to different places. We actually took a carriage ride through the spray vault. Or no, not the spray vault, not the place with all the swamps and stuff, but used to be. See, they're draining a lot of that. There's a lot of strip mining going on. So, you know, the saying is, God made Lusatia, but the devil put the coal underneath it. So, and when you look at the map, see all these lakes, well, those were former strip mines. And if you look at a map of that area of Germany, you can tell where the strip mining is. An example.
So we need to go do this.
I'm sure I couldn't get me into college.
All right, in 10 years, we need to do this, right, when we can still walk?
Exactly. Frank asks me every time, when are you coming?
I know.
It's cheaper for you to fly here, so you just keep coming here.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of these days we'll go back.
Yeah, I keep saying that, and it feels so bad when they keep asking. You know?
Yeah.
Stephanie's already had a little one. I'd like to go meet the little one before
Before she's graduated.
it's grown.
So I'm trying to get to a Google map where you don't have all the garbage on the side.
Just search maps.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Your directions are ready. Click the blue Add to Chrome button, then click Add Extension to continue.
I want to do that.
So I've got this, so what's in the Sorbian Museum? I don't know which one
So
I like more.
you were able to download the Sorbian Easy on here?
Just open your browser and put
Yeah,
maps
I wanted to make
Google.
sure it was the one
Okay, that, yeah,
you know, that they use.
yeah. There we go. Okay. Now it's working well one and two.
How did you get into? Well, then just put bouncing up in the search.
I can do that too.
You wanted to go
Fixing it in
Okay.
geography lesson.
Yeah.
We got that whole ocean used to.
Satellite view. All right, so going out. Okay, so here's Boutzen in the middle. Can you see that okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I love
And
it.
then this is Malschwitz. Clinton is up here a little bit further. Here's Schleife. Boxberg, this big lake right here, is Clinton in this area. Here's Clinton. Okay.
Wow.
And so you see this area here, this gray area?
Yeah.
That's a strip mine.
Uh-huh. We went up
And
there
this
from.
is, this is a strip mine that the Swedish company was using to strip out the coal. And so it's Tagebau Nochten. And so this has already been stripped out. You see these lines here? That's where they laid the trees down. And so it's supposed to go all the way up here to Schleife. This is what drives Davey bananas, because that's where his ancestors came from. Well, the story is that they're going to stop. They're not going to go past like this area here. But there's nothing in here. There never was, just forest. And we looked for old houses. Well, there weren't any old houses. In Texas, you tear down an old house, build a new one. You know, that's what you do. That's what people do. You don't want to live on a dirt floor. You want mama to have a nice floor.
Yeah.
You go to a cemetery looking for tombstones, you're not going to find tombstones of your ancestors because they're gone.
Yeah.
But they're in a big tombstone warehouse where they take these tombstones after so many years, and the thinner they get, the cheaper they cost. They grind them down and use them again. So all you see there is modern tombstones. Everybody comes out on Saturday and they polish them up. And after a rain, they come out and they take all the raindrops off of them. It was absolutely beautiful. The only tombstones that are there are maybe soldiers, maybe in a mass grave, or maybe the pastor, the priest, you know, maybe in the church thing, but all the rest of them get dug out and used again. It's a different world.
Warner's
But,
parents are
so going back down here
taking
to
care of their parents, yeah. But it's very
Boutzen.
expensive to keep the tombstones in the grave, so.
So you can zoom in on Boutzen. Okay, so you see it's not a big town. Up in this area is where the gymnasium is. This is all museum area here. Everything is in walking distance. Bahnhofstrasse down here is where we stay. Anyway, that's Boutzen. It's like Quebec. It's an ancient town.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to take a tour. It was amazing.
Yeah, isn't it though?
And
It's
dressed
so
up.
beautiful.
Where is the institute located?
The Sorbian Institute is right along here somewhere.
It's not in Boutzen?
Oh yeah, it is.
Is it with the museum?
Right here. Sorbian Institute is right here. You see it?
So you're just on Google Earth right now?
I'm on Google Maps.
Google Maps.
Yes, this is the Sorbian Institute is not that big a place.
Is it in the museum?
It's in the old city.
It's all, it's
museum?
all Old City, yeah. Everything that's in this area you see here, this is all Old City. And this is the oldest part up here. You got the water tower, the
Yeah, that's neat, isn't it?
the theater.
Love it.
Is that a river going down through there?
This is the Spring River.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you been there yet?
No.
No.
Does anybody ever, have you heard of people going to Berlin and driving down?
That'd be a long drive, huh?
But not that long a drive. When my son Brian and I went, we got into Dresden. We drove halfway to Leipzig. Well, we drove to Leipzig that night because he wanted to go to the Jägermeister factory. It's in Wolfenbüttel, which is another couple hours up the road, but it's on a parallel with Lucerstadt, Wittenberg, and all that. So we went on a tour there, got a little bottle of Jägermeister, and then we went from Wolfenbüttel across to Wittenberg. We got there about 5 or 6 in the evening. Everything was closed, but we were there. You know, so we walked around and visited a little bit, and then we drove back to Dresden. I was driving that night, and so it's like an hour and a half.
Like Austin to Fredericksburg or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
The country's not that big, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You can drive from one end to the other.
It's not
I mean, you can go from Belgium to Berlin in a couple hours. If you get out of Berlin without getting lost. That is one big town.
When we left Clinton though and started heading west, we got to
Where'd you go to?
How far? Where are you taking it?
Some of the old cities.
I walked from the train station to the museum. Granted, I
Oh,
was a little bit
okay.
heavier, and I was.
You know what I'm talking
to
about?
Rome.
I think,
Well,
it's
I don't know if
downhill.
Google Maps
Yeah, it
was
was a
like
long
screwing me
trip. It was
over
a
or
long
not,
trip.
taking me on the scenic route, but it
And
was like 2
shocking how
miles.
big
But there was a lot of stairs, but the cool part is
That's
that
a
you
big
came through
town.
all these really old, like, streets and stuff. So I was getting a really good view of
And where was this?
Bouncing.
Yeah. You
I
watched the
walked
street
it,
signs.
but it was a hard walk.
You walked the streets, watched the street signs. A
Google
lot of
Maps
one-way
is amazing
streets.
though.
Beg pardon?
Google Maps walking through there is amazing though, because at one point it told me to go up this old staircase, and I'm like, you mean that ancient thing right there? And some guy just kind of looked at me like I'm weird. I'm like, okay, and I ended up coming up behind the museum, I think.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It was a very hard walk.
Yeah, there are some hills, but not really, not like Austin.
Yeah.
Except when you go down to the river.
Stairs.
When you go down to the river, you gotta come up out of the riverbed.
Yeah.
But the rest of it's sort of
But
great.
it was a fascinating walk, so.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's well worth it, Trail.
I gotta go.
You gotta go.
You gotta go if you can.
It's gotta be way up high on the bucket list.
I don't wanna take your time, but
Oh,
you've
you're not
been
taking
to,
much.
you've been to Clinton and
Yeah.
I wanna go to Dalban, Weigersdorf, all those,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's all right there, like you said.
Yeah, in Weigersdorf, they have this Killian room now.
Yes.
And they took all the stuff out of the attic, and old books and old papers, and you know, when you don't have a hymnal like we have, the pastor every Sunday writes out the whole thing. All the messages, the announcements, it's all written out there. And it's all there. I mean, the baptism, the deaths, the marriages, everything, it's just, there's a history there every Sunday, what's going on. You know, that's gotta be translated, because it's another source of information, more so than maybe a record is. Yeah, there's a wealth of stuff there, wealth of stuff. Yeah. You know, during retirement, you do fundraising for the Windy Society.
Uh-oh, well, this has got a hold of you now.
Let's talk, I'm looking, yeah. Looking for a job.
Well, go talk to Chelsea.
All right.
Anyway, that's what, he was a fundraiser for A&M, right?
Ah.
Still am till Texas Independence Day, March 2nd.
And then you can come over to the Winddish.
Yes.
That's when you're not retired yet, you will be.
Yeah, right,
Okay, you're still working for
right, until.
Tell your independence. Any other questions? I'm on your time now. I can stay here all day and visit and talk, but questions or should we? We'll have another class scheduled Somebody asked me that. Whoops.
I think I just saw it was the 17th of April, maybe?
Yeah, it's in April. It's in April.
It's like the Saturday after Easter.
It's the 18th.
18th.
Another class with you here?
Yeah, yeah.
You will email us again.
Yeah, yeah. And so I guess one of the questions, this is basically the same thing we did the first time. You were the only, no, Carol was, you were here the first time, weren't you? Yeah. Okay, so was it the same?
No.
What?
There was some difference.
Yeah.
Some
Well,
of the
so-
answers I knew,
Well,
but last
yeah,
time you
okay.
asked me how old I was, not when I was born.
That's what I did last time, I got your age? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, you gotta, yeah. So is it worthwhile going over the same stuff again and keep sort of adding more and more? Because we don't have that much time together. But what do you guys think? Richard, Carol?
Having been through the alphabet part of it and everything twice now, I think I'd like to see more of the common phrases that you would use. Hello, good morning,
Okay.
how are you?
Okay.
Where is this? And just phrases that we can learn by rote.
Okay,
You
okay.
know,
And just practice on each other. Okay, like that. So we don't necessarily need to spend much time with the alphabet, need for new people. But there's gotta be some pronunciation stuff.
I was gonna say, no, the
Yeah.
alphabet was very valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it, so, I mean, you won't hurt my feelings if you tell me what you think. Is it valuable to have the part in there where we have the consonants and try to say those words? That took some time, but was that worth having?
I think so.
Okay.
Because you have to use it in context, and when you start putting some of them together, you're like, wait a minute.
It was helpful having these lexicons and dictionaries you could go through and look at and start
That
learning
was
how to
fun,
use it.
to be able to
Yeah.
have the dictionary.
Yes, definitely. Speaking of, this is a hardback that has 15 in it, but I think it should be 19. So I'm gonna list it as 19.
Well, you can do that. You can make it 20 more.
Well, I was gonna give you more actually, but I thought, no, it'll be too confusing today, let's not do that.
19, well, okay, no, that's 19, this is 15.
Right.
Make it whatever you want on that amount.
I'm gonna make it 19, I think it's just mismarked. It's marked at 15, and it's a
Right,
hardback.
that is
It should be
yeah, it
19.
You're right.
Thank you, Will.
Yeah.
And we're not doing credit card today.
Well, I
Just
am,
checking.
because I figured it'd be.
So can I get these at the museum?
Yeah, or if you.
Is that terrible?
Take a look at
Okay, I'll do that. All right.
You need more than my name, my number.
No, wait.
Who do you make out a check to?
Texas Wedding Heritage Society.
THWH. I'm sorry, TWH.
Richard, I guess we should have asked you to bring your little thing.
Windish Heritage, just the first
Can you
letter.
take that
TWH.
take that information and charge it at the museum? Or if you want to go to the museum, you can buy the books there today, if you take them with you. What do you think? What to do? Do you have a
Hang on,
capability
let me,
there?
see if I've got the point of sale.
What hand are you buying?
Or send it check.
I just
Make-
thought
fill in
I'm gonna
the
try
thing, you know,
these
I'll say check
websites
later.
first, and then I'll.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'm good with something in print. I'm just, I guess,
Is everybody
it's
here?
those
a
few
member of
years
the society?
older I am, but yeah.
You got one of these? Anybody, you're a member of the society?
I need to renew, but
What?
I need to renew, but I can't today.
Did you get the last newsletter?
No, sir.
Okay, take this week's here.
Yes.
Kimberly Ann graduated from Greenville High School,
Oh, okay.
23 in her class.
If you want to join, you can just fill that out, you send it in.
It was awesome back in the day when my cousins were
Definitely
growing
not
up.
23 anymore.
No, it was 19 for, I think, maybe 17 for our other cousin Maud who graduated a few years earlier. So it was growing at that time. But we used to love going to football games. She was a cheerleader, her brother was on the football team, Sido was in the band, and Maudana was the hippo. And she was running around with this giant fly swatter. They were playing the Hornets, and I remember she had a giant fly swatter one time chasing the Hornets. It was so much fun. They had the big hippo prints, and we would go from their house through the streets on the big hippo prints because their house was right next to the school. It was just so much fun. We enjoyed it.